here we go.
Yeet!
Of course.
I almost missed it.
I had a lot of build-up, and...
Alright. So, no John today, just for sake of recording. So, last session, we had no plan. We had to send Ashta and Caius down to the meeting of the Goblinoid generals in order to discuss plan potentials and information and so on. Rosalind did some long-distance feign translation. She should have just cast tongues on them before they went down, but, you know, hindsight's 20/20.
Whoops.
Yep. Apparently, even though he was allowed to the meeting by the warlord, Ashta had to have his hand taken off again for the meeting. We really ought to see if there's some way around that. Great.
The answer is we eventually kill them all.
That would be.
It's not handy.
Yeah. Not at the moment. Anyway, find out that scrying doesn't work on Sagittarius or any of his inner circle, but there is one iron mount used by somebody close to him that can be scryed on. So they've kind of been using that so far. It's a possibility, if Zini wants to give it a shot. Ashta got to see the illusory visual of it, so that can be passed over by Fane just fine. Find out that Sagittarius is kind of the rallying point of the army. The further he is from any part of them, the more disorganized they are. However, he can travel so quickly that doesn't really tend to matter much. Apparently he doesn't speak common. Someone else might be writing the notes that he's attaching to his arrowheads.
Oh, that's a mood.
Yeah, don't really know quite what's going on there yet, but that's what we've been told. It's either that or he's pretending not to speak common for some weird reason. So, we have about 3 days to gather the info we need. We're expected back at the Pinel noon of the 3rd day with some kind of plan. Yeah, pretty much that. Thank you, Ty.
No problem.
So, we zip over to Anther for a bit, because it's right next door. And it has boomed in size. It's so much bigger. Samsir is still there, and they are absolutely exhausted at this point, just with coordination and getting people settled and organized and all that.
Expansion via necessity, not success.
Yep. Absolutely. And then Xenia, and only Xenia, hears a baby crying at some point, and it turns out to be Yenben. And Yenben calms right down when Xenia picks him up, so there might be some weird, like, Fae plus Shadow connection. Not entirely sure about that, but something was going on. Yenben's teething. Issa has gotten a lot taller and stronger somehow, thanks to the magic and weirdness. Oh, Rosalind does her first item enchantment. The Edgelord.
Yes.
So it's the most magical razor that ever there was. Ashta gave it a test run, and so far has not grown any stubble back, and it's been a few hours at least. Caius, in the meantime, found his fan club, taught them some basics after throwing them around the room, and one of them, the Goliath one, or Goliath-blooded, wants to come and learn some more. He says he can cook and cut hair. Turns out he is the son of the Duke's, favored barber, so, that might be where he learned that. He was planning on running off or going out and doing something anyway, so this is an opportunity. Ashta offered the Duke some help, because he's kind of harried and busy, and Duke asked Ashta to keep some various, visitors, petitioners, people coming with problems to be solved away during dinner. He just wants one peaceful dinner. So Ashta's gonna be standing guard here. Esther was watching Yenben, meets the moms of Anther and their bizarre parenting tactics. And we're pretty much picking up right about the dinner time, right before. I think we just did hours of training in between, and I'm pretty sure we left off with everybody finishing those.
In all God's and honesty, who the fuck thinks a good idea is tying a child to a rope and letting them go near a dangerous forest?
Have you heard of this idea? Anti-vaxxers.
Huh?
Exposure therapy.
No.
So, as you guys begin to find the dining room of the loghouse,
Issa wasn't ready. Sorry, Rosalind wanted to talk to Issa first. I thought we were
okay, as
doing that
Rosalind
before.
heads to Eva's room.
Sorry.
That's right. So, as you head to Eva's room, knock on the door. You're quiet, come in.
She comes in, she's already dressed and ready for dinner. I want it to be like, if I can, if there's time, 15 minutes, 20 minutes before.
Sure. You see Issa kind of finishing feeding Yen Ben and putting him to rest. As he kind of sees you, you see his eyes open up. Mule recognition.
Rosalind will go over and kind of smooth the top of his hair down, try to soothe him, and then...
As soon as your hand comes close, he presses his forehead into your palm.
Oh, well. It's adorable.
You begin to change as you play with him for a little bit.
Yep, and after a minute of that, she'll kind of go, Issa, can I talk through something with you?
Isn't that what my primary do, dear?
I don't know about primary, but it was always good to be able to bounce things off of you, thoughts, and I've got to actually run up to this a little bit. There's something else that should be explained first. Do you remember Halkarim? And then
You see this moment of just like forced calm in her face and just yes.
Something happened, and she's gonna briefly tell Issa about the journal incident.
Roll a perception check.
Perception?
Yeah.
Not insight? I mean,
No,
it doesn't
no.
really matter, it's the same thing. 20.
You notice as the story unfolds, Issa's shadow gets longer.
Okay, then. And she
The
wraps it
face
up.
doesn't change.
Very just quickly wraps it up, and we haven't seen him since, and I am hoping that we never see him again, but I've been thinking recently. He obviously crossed a line. I'm just becoming more unsure exactly where that line is or was. I mean, clearly writing down what he did, anybody who finds that book and reads it might get very much the wrong idea about me and him, and I am very much not fond of that as a concept. But the more I think that I also dislike the idea of him thinking that way. But at the same time, I realize, how is that different than me daydreaming about various crushes I've had in the past and all those times and those people? I told you.
So Issa put up her hand for a second. Rosalind, I won't presume to know what's in your mind, but I think I can presume that Karim is a bit of a perv. And I don't think you're as bad as he is.
Alright, I didn't go that far ever, but still. So often I develop an interest and fall into the daydreams and just watching but never really approaching, and it always turned out, didn't it, that they were either already attached to somebody or otherwise just wouldn't be somebody who would be interested in return.
Your heart was always bigger than your eyes, yes. Nothing wrong with ambition, though.
Is there? Because how many of them would have been just as upset to learn that I had that interest in them, or if not upset, awkward, as I was with Halkarim?
Well, if there's something I can do to reassure you, most people who have unscrupulous thoughts, and to an extent such as how Kareem do, probably don't have the wisdom to be self-conscious about them. At least not about merely having the thoughts. And you are allowed to feel whatever you like, regardless of what people feel about it. It's how you act that matters. Just like if you were sitting in front of a king, for example, and you disliked the king, you could think whatever you'd like, but you may not slap him.
Mhm.
Is that fair?
I hope so.
Well, if you'd like, I
Yes.
can slap your father and see what happens.
Please don't. He hasn't done anything to deserve it.
You're right, I
Yes.
might slap his beard off.
No, he likes his beard. Don't do that to him.
Oh, but just imagine what he'd look like, just suddenly half-shaven, perfect in the shape of a hand.
Oh. Alright, I've never seen that one individual with a beard, but if he ever tried to grow one, I would love to see that.
Now, I take it you ask this because you have interest?
I'm sorry, slapping somebody's beard half off?
Oh no, whoever is making you worry like this. Come on, you know you can't hide anything from me.
I'd rather not get into any details. It's
Oh,
complicated.
but there is someone.
It's very, very complicated, potentially. And again, it's not somebody who would, I think, return any interest. Or at the very least, this person has other prospects or likely has, and it just would make things difficult.
And as you mention this, she comes up to you and just takes her cloak and flips a little hood up, or a cloak of her own, puts it over your shoulders, flips your hood up, and pulls down on the top and says, "And that doesn't mean you're not allowed to think of them, as long as you are respectful in doing so.
I try to be,
And
but
that's all you must do. No one will ask perfection of you."
Issa, I'm a little afraid. What if this one doesn't fade like the others in the past?
She actually presses her lips to your forehead and says, "Relax. Matters of the heart are not so simple. If it doesn't fade."
Eldon,
must
I
I-
need to see if somebody will stop using construction equipment in the hallway.
I'm gonna scream.
As we get a commercial break for a moment.
Can I ask what the fuck?
Just in general, you could ask.
What the fuck? I wonder whom it could be.
It'll
Nope.
be funny.
Obvious.
I cannot have them stop. I was just told that they'll be done when they're done.
Fair enough.
So there's going to be
Press-
hammer noises. There is no push-to-talk solution. It's going to come through on the recording no matter what. Because it's my
Ah.
microphone that's being
Lovely.
recorded directly.
Unless you got a mute button on your mic.
I
but
do not.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Sorry.
So she pulls in with the hood of the cloak, and she simply says, "If it doesn't fade, then you have to act on it one way or another, pleasant or unpleasant. Whether that's by speaking to them, or addressing your own feelings, or perhaps having a short fling and running away with some prince better than this last prince."
I don't think that's going to be a solution, but
Oh, come on, you've read enough romance novels. You know it'll be fun. Come on, just think of it. This strapping pirate prince, all leather armor, swashbuckling sword, maybe a little bit of magic.
Rosalind's going to reach out and push Issa off the bed.
She kind of just gets Oh, sorry. I forget, maybe pirates aren't your thing.
What'd you say?
Maybe pirates aren't your thing. I'll stick to princes next time. You know, royal court, long red cloak, white fur trim,
They weren't.
crown on his head and a cocky smile.
Oh, come on, not all of them were like that.
No, but I read most of the ones you did, and most of them were.
Not really. I don't
A love
remember
triangle
most of
doesn't
them.
count if only one of them is that way.
I remember a lot more of not the pirates, but you know, the soldiers or rogues or I don't know. Was the royal court angle really that prevalent?
Oh my fucking god.
There, if anyone's going to have rose-colored lenses, it'll be you.
And yes, I see what you did with that joke.
She kind of just smiles at you and says, if it helps. I also have a bit of an interest in someone.
Really?
I do.
Is it my turn to tease, or are you going to be open about it?
Oh, I think I'm much better at it, but you can do so too.
All right. Somebody you met recently?
No, someone I've known for a while, but I've had a growing interest now that one is needed to protect you, and he's been a great help with you.
That's wonderful. By asking you to go on the castle, we won't be causing problems. I wouldn't want to get in the way of anything.
Oh no, no, it's nothing as serious as that.
Hmm.
Simply someone who is, I think, attempting to court me about those I care about. I'm sure you know the feeling.
Well, if it's potentially a serious interest, I know that we were considering taking on mostly, if possible, people who needed homes, people who would be able to build said homes and get a start on the land up there, but we were going to ask you if you would be willing and able to interview and vet and choose the best people to do so we're not just taking on enormous numbers and, well, having no way of supporting them, making sure they'll be safe and well and everything.
What happens? The best test that I can imagine is I let them hold Yenben, and if he cries, they're not allowed on. He seems to have a good mark for good people,
Really? It's that simple.
so far. Plus, if they don't like Yenben, I mean, I can't look around, can I?
Possibly not. Though now I have to wonder how Yenben would react to the rest of my group. I've only seen Xenia hold him. I think Esther as well. I don't think I've ever held Yenben, and I'm not sure about the others.
Well, he seems to like you well enough, held or not.
I suppose so.
Gurgle as he rolls over to sleep.
Will you be coming to dinner with us?
I think he's restful enough. I think well. I was equally requested to sort out a peaceful dinner for your father.
Oh, did he request?
If he knew you were coming earlier, I think he would have had a feast prepared.
Thank you. I've been told that the hallway's done.
Alright, good.
Sorry.
All good.
Let's see, feast prepared. She's just gonna. That's really not necessary, but I'm sure he would have.
Yes. You know he loves you dearly.
I know.
And now you've staged him and having a larger estate too. And now you've upstaged him, you have a larger estate than he does now.
It's not solely mine.
No, but neither is this town. So he is.
I suppose. Still not quite the same thing. Anyway, we should probably be going.
Probably.
Thank you for listening.
Always. And if we see by the end of the hour, perhaps I'll introduce.
I'd like that.
Alright,
Just-
take my cloak back.
Yep, bumps her into the shoulder as they go out.
Yep, she pulls the bed and hangs her cloak back up and heads back out. She's wearing a more formal set of armor this time. Not nearly as protective as the plate mail she usually wears, just a breastplate and a dagger on her belt.
Mhm.
As you guys head to the, the eating hall, you can see quite a number of people streaming in. Right? Looks like farmers, minor businessmen, craftsmen, most people you recognize, as well as a few who are new, but it's mostly familiar faces. And as you sit down, you can see the Duke at his table. I imagine Ashta already standing guard, and the rest of the crew already there, beginning.
Yeah, very much. At least on Ash's end.
Yep. And as you step in, you see the Duke stand up, kind of give like the open arm welcome to you across the hall. And you see looking at you claps.
You're kind of rough right now.
You're bad, brother.
We can pretty much make out what you're saying. It's not as terrible as sometimes. Oh, he's gone.
I could not understand.
Yeah, I couldn't get what he was saying either.
Yeah,
Alright.
so, you enter the hall, you see a few people start to clap as gestures towards you. A wolf will start. But after a moment, it goes back to the standard buzz of a busy food area. See the chef who you haven't seen in a while as she kind of waves to you, Rosalind.
Rosalind
Once
waves
more,
back.
all the dishes you made to the child are served to you. And the Duke kind of conversing with you and asking minor questions about travels, and you notice him intentionally avoiding things you probably don't want to talk about. Such as any kind of fights or dangerous events. More asking about the people you've met, what you've seen since you've been new, the things you've learned. He kind of tries to compare them with his own recent struggles with the expanding town. And the rest of the sure joins in their points and listens in and adds their own little stories. Yeah. At one point you hear him mentioning the ruins of Pinnacle. Something about a golden eagle that rose from the ashes. And every time it rises, it's red once more, and another egg drops the. And some people are going there and collecting pieces of eggs, considering them good luck charms, and signs of, symbols of a healthy life, healing. It's all very strange, knowing that with the castle, it's not that far away. Well, it's a people there with interesting news in your area. As people come to approach the Duke, either Ashta or Issa, generally, let them know that the Duke will speak to you if it has time. I imagine Ashta a bit less grace than that. But overall, he's wonderful.
Okay.
Anything you guys want to bring up with the Duke, feel free to mention it.
Nothing
At one
specific for Rosalind now.
But at one point he kind of looks to you and says, "So you mentioned previously that you have magics now, I guess?"
He looking at Rosalind or?
Yes, Rosalind.
Okay. Then yes, she will confirm that.
And I know the spell you used to contact me is not insignificant. How knowledgeable are you now?
I'm not quite sure what scale that would be on. That was a recent spell that I learned.
Perhaps a scale of 1 to 20.
It's hard to break down just based on spells. I've picked up enchanting.
Oh, you have?
Yep. And if she has it on her, I'm not sure she would or not. She's gonna pull out the notebook she got all that time ago, and she's written down her first enchanting experiment in it.
He probably would take a look over it. So she kind of look at it and think, oh, from what I know peripherally, this is not easy things to do. It's a simple tool, but couldn't damn it.
Well, I'm hoping it has worked as intended. It's currently being tested.
Asher might currently like check in and just like make sure everything's okay, such that Rosalind could look at his face and see if he's still shaved or not. He probably hasn't checked yet.
Yep. Still clean shaven.
Edawa?
Still clean shaven.
Actually, how long has it been, Ashta?
Been since
You shaved with that razor that I put magic into.
the guy scratches his head. I don't know, a few hours. It was after noon. I'm pretty sure.
Is that... I think that's better than usual, isn't it?
Would you? And he kind of like puts his hand to his face.
It's baby smooth.
Oh. Uh-huh.
So the Duke.
I really hope that I didn't do anything wrong.
He looks mildly conflicted, but well, guess we can just wait.
Much more profound that way. You kind of snort on the side.
You're like, say that again for me.
You look more profound that way, Ashta. He's a sports, right?
Profound.
Educated, wise. Less scruffy.
There's a like conflicted look on Ash's face, and he goes, "Thanks."
Kind of just nods to you and continues to eat his potatoes.
Honestly,
What I
it's
ask?
just different. It's not, It's just different, that's all.
Good different or bad different or
Neither. Just simply that. Different.
right? Yeah.
But I do hope it does, I hope it's not permanent and I didn't, again, make a mistake.
I think you're good. I think the only thing that thing was doing was being very, very sharp.
I can hope. I think next time I make an experimental anything, it's not going to be anything that is meant to be used on selves. I'm not going to magic up any soap or anything like that, just in case.
He's not look like your next attempt was soap.
No, it wasn't. That was a terrible, terrible example I was grasping for. Just never mind.
Jeff nods. Just like he's like idly touching his face from time to time now.
Again, it's weirdly smooth, but it's soft.
Like not even subconsciously.
Are the rest kind of like in earshot?
Yeah, you're all in dinner together.
Just, do you know how nice enchanted soap would be?
Well, that might depend on what it's enchanted to do.
What if it was enchanted to consistently replenish?
Everlasting soap.
God knows Caius could use it.
Or maybe soap that isn't so slippery when it's wet.
Is that not the point of soap?
Well, it gets sudsy, but it slips out every single time.
Soap that binds to your hands. No.
No,
Never mind.
no.
Never mind,
That
that's a
seems-
bad idea.
Yes, that seems a terrible idea.
That could be a good curse, though.
It would be a fun thing to play.
Do you know how terrifying that would be to attack somebody, hit them in the face, and they just come away with the smell of lemony fresh?
It would make them rather less intimidating.
It would be Very interesting.
By the way, have you just began this practice?
I've been studying for quite some time, but this was my first practical experiment.
Maybe try it with some of the marbles from the Rose Forest. I've been told those hold an enchantment very well.
Oh, that's right. Don't some of you still have yours? Or did you... Or did some of
Which,
you sell
sorry?
it? The Rose Forest marbles, the very first, when we first met.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yes.
Asha like rolls his in his pocket. I'm pretty sure he still has it. Let me check.
Well, those could be, future experiments. I can see if there's anything that I can do with them, but I'll take requests or suggestions, assuming it's within my reach.
Well, if you ever want to experiment and you see the Duke pull a small coin pouch from his purse, basically, and he sets it on the table, you can hear the sounds of marbles rolling inside of it. Just for my own personal use, and a gift from my daughter, perhaps.
Honestly, I don't think I'm going to run short of things to experiment on, but perhaps one, just to see what I can do with it.
Oh, if you do a good job, maybe I'll hang it inside my bedroom, just on the wall, frame it, just to remember you by.
Honestly, I'm not sure exactly what I would put into it.
Oh, that's so sweet.
How about your love for your father? How about that? And he kind of jostles you with the shoulder.
Well, I don't think I need an enchantment book for that.
No, but it would make it more interesting.
I'll see what I can manage. She'll take one of the marbles from the bag and just pocket it for now.
It's a pretty big one. Like the ones you guys have are maybe, normal marble size. This is it's in your palm pretty nicely. Like you couldn't make a closed fist with it in your hand.
Oh, Like-
Big boy.
Pat's
Oh.
golf ball, like
Yeah,
Bull ball.
the size of a peach. Not a very big peach, just a peach.
Oh, okay. She was going to go for a small one, but I guess they're bigger than I thought. Okay.
where was he keeping this?
In his purse.
That makes sense.
He has a purse with it.
No, wait, no, I thought he had a fanny pack.
He has a fanny pack of carrying, but a purse of holding.
Okay.
Okay.
Fanny pack is the plus one to charisma. He kind of just smiles as he puts it in the purse back, and you see him turn to Xenia as well and go, by the way, can I ask a strange question?
Alright, you may.
Where does your magic come from?
Mine now or from before?
Now,
There's a small twitch on Ash's face.
It's more godly than it was before, if that's what you're wondering.
still fey in nature?
In a sense.
Alright. Well, if you ever do have the desire to come back, I've had quite a few citizens stay non-druidic area of refuge. Blessed.
Oh,
I don't know if it is of the correct nature of what they're looking for, but as you can imagine, many who lived in Peduncle are not as comfortable in druid circles and druid groves as they used to be. Some have flocked to it much harder than before, but
I
different kind of guidance now.
could see if I could contact my brother. He's in the desert right now, but he is a cleric of Coralon. I'll check it out and I can give him the information. I'm not sure if it's the correct type of fae, but I will communicate. I do need to stay in this area at a point to do some research anyways. So,
Alright.
yes.
If you could, please, just net source as much as I can, as we only have so much that I can do with the purse that I have.
Yes, indeed.
Now let's. I have to remember to forget the business sometimes, you know? He kind of raises his hand and another plate is brought in front of him. This time it's there were desserts that look delicious.
Asher like leans over, it's like, and says to the Duke, "Sorry, sir, the Duke isn't taking business talk."
I says, ah, yes, very good. I will contact him another time. He kind of nods seriously towards you and then takes a cupcake and still looking very serious, just eats it whole.
Esther's trying not to laugh.
He smiles and he offers them out to everyone, and they're not quite nearly as sweet as they look, but they're very, just, like, almost creamy in taste. Really good cupcakes. And, of course, they are rose-shaped frosting on the top.
Oh, for fuck.
Of course.
Oh, wow.
Look, it's not just Rosalind who likes the aesthetic, okay?
Yeah.
She has to learn it
It
from
was
somewhere.
encouraged.
I see the love of flowers is hereditary.
You could say so. I had fears as a child that I was allergic to them, and I'd be disowned if I was. But thankfully they were unfounded.
You would be disowned.
Why?
It was a childhood fear because there were so many flowers around. I lived next to the rose forest that if I was allergic to flowers, I wouldn't be allowed to live here. You know.
Actually,
It was not.
no,
It was not true. But
that's understandable, though.
As a child, how old were you? 20?
he kind of just smiles and says, "I'm not ill. Human."
Like 8 or 7, Xenia.
Oh.
Human.
Before-
Human aging. Conrad, you're bad.
Yeah, you're losing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's doing better than he has before.
Yeah.
It's
like
not
robot-y, but
the
legible.
worst.
You can hear it.
Words can be obtained.
Sorta.
Oh, there he goes.
Yep. Logging out,
Yep.
logging in. Are you there?
Is he there?
Conrad?
They still connecting.
Oh. I see. Nope. Gone.
Great.
Okay, there was noise.
There was a noise.
Test.
Alright, there were words.
Mhm.
He says, as the Duke, I picked up a flower once and sneezed, so I assumed I was allergic.
Ah. It's a fair thing. Maybe you just sniffed in a bit of pollen. Eh.
Normal childhood fears.
He's muted right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every time he ends up like his internet failing, the song from El Dorado, "It's Tough to Be a God," just kind of keeps going.
He types, it was rather embarrassing when I tried to grind up flowers and wear it to immunize myself to the allergy?
I'm not sure that.
Ash
I'm
just
not
tilts
sure.
his head.
It's mild exposure therapy.
I don't think that's how that works. I think it's the pollen people are allergic to, and not flower.
It is the point.
Then I wouldn't be snorting lines of pollen at the age of 7.
More importantly, that would allergies are different scalings. They're sneezing and then they're dying.
Indeed, I don't think I've seen someone die from exposure to flowers.
Oh, cut him a break. He was a child. Children don't know any of this.
Children, yeah, actually they wouldn't ask. They would ask their other friends who would say, yes, you are going to die.
No child is willing to ask a parent if something is wrong with them. They will ask their friends, and their friends will say, yes, this is horrendous. It has never happened to me, so therefore you will die. And it proceeds from there.
Ash just looks like no child is asked their parents if something's wrong.
Well, not for something as silly as sneezing at a flower.
Seems
Especially,
serious to him.
He's got like slowly nods and just like, yep, okay.
Yep, words from the Duke. Whatever I did, maybe it worked. I'm not allergic nowadays.
it was magic.
Maybe you just had a cold.
Do you remember the time I read that one fairy tale and I spent about not quite a month, few days less, I think, hunting around all of the garden ponds trying to find a frog? Because I was convinced that someone had polymorphed a prince into one.
And what were you to do when you found this frog?
Well, in my head I was just going to rescue him, but, I didn't really have much of a plan. Other than I would somehow find a frog with a little crown on his head because that was the picture in the book.
Are you going to keep a polymorphed frog hostage?
No, I was going to save his life. And yes, I found the salamander because it had a little ring of color around the top of his head, and I thought that was close enough.
Oh, that's absolutely adorable, Rosalind.
That is very nice.
It's so
Did you give it a name?
cute.
I just called it Prince, until a visiting druid used to speak with animals and let me know that the poor salamander was not a prince and would very much like to go back home. So I had to let him go.
We had something, I suppose, a similar story to that, but it involved vultures. And now there is a story that circles my tribe of how a small child jumped on a vulture.
Oh.
That was not a fun day.
To what end?
I wanted to save it.
From?
In the way that the story goes, if you were to give the transformed prince a hug of meaning and purpose, they would transform back. 7-year-old me thought that meant to hug the vulture.
Oh, it
And the
was
vulture?
you.
It was me.
Yes.
The vulture took off, and they had to shoot it down.
Oh no.
Oh.
It was so much fun!
That is better than the time I once just jumped on a horse and rode down the main streets in Lucerne a couple of times as a kid.
Issa says, do you remember when I brought you a frog and convinced you that instead of it being a prince, was a wizard trying to be polymorphed back, so you needed its pointed hat to return its magic?
Oh, that is amazing.
And such a cruel trick.
Not,
What did you make the pointed hat out of?
if I recall correctly, parchment and paint.
Aww.
Oh, very handsome frog must have been.
I actually
Actually,
made
like-
two, one for myself and one for the frog. I wasn't
Oh.
too disappointed when it didn't turn back, I just believed that maybe Issa had found the wrong one.
Ash has this confused look on his face. It's like, were you all as kids allowed to just believe things that weren't true?
Oh yes, that was part of the fun.
Oh,
Were you not?
Yeah.
One of my
See this like confused look on his face.
one of my
Oh.
fathers focused on logic and the other was a bit more fun with children. I don't believe any of those lies nor remember them.
The
Were you
elders
just
always spun stories.
were you just told things as they were, Ashla?
Kind of like, well, I mean, I'd ask about things, and Uncle let me know that it wasn't right, and I found out what was happening properly, and that's kind of where it ended.
Mostly they were based on fairy tales and folk stories. And all of those had a dash of exaggeration, but some of them referenced actual magic, others perhaps real events. And still more, neither actual magic nor real event, but it imparted some sort of idea or lesson.
Like,
Usually that
I heard-
kindness comes back and benefits you in the future, and
I heard some of those, but I mean, it was just that we didn't really go around doing much that would put us in the line of that, unless it was a threat. And if it was a threat, I just kind of assumed my uncle could kill whatever it was. Any big bad wolves in the forest, dressed up as grandmas or anything like that.
so at
The
least you're
elder-
familiar with some.
I know some, just they're just not true, and
They don't have to be.
everyone's bringing up a lot of them as kids thinking they were.
Well, that's the whole point of belief.
That's just part of
We're
being a
told-
child.
We're
Didn't
told
really
stories
believe
as
them.
children.
Asha nods as if he's going along with what you're saying, but it's like, okay.
When we were children, the elders spun stories in order for them to explain things that, as a child, we weren't able to grasp. Why the sand stuck to water, why the stars glimmered the way they did, why at night it would get cold, but at day it was blazing hot. It was a way to explain to a young mind how things were without having to deal with harsh facts just yet. It
Because
inspired imagination.
if you ask me, it sounds like they were just kind of lying to you.
Not a lie, no.
They said something wrong, and
Issa's patted Ashta on the shoulder and asked, "Can I officially declare you Zienben's grumpy uncle?"
Oh my gods, yes, please.
I'm, I'm good.
But they weren't lies to us, Ashta. They were stories.
A lie isn't a lie to someone if they think it's true. That's kind of how they work.
In a world of so much magic, there has to be a truth in at least every fairy tale, whether it be a little bit or a lot. Unfortunately, as a child, you can't understand certain things. So, certain words are added, and a little bit of mysticism is created to make a child keep their attention. Nobody wants to hear about what the stars really are when they're just a little kid. They want to hear that they were put there by angels with magnificently colored wings because they wanted the rest of the world to see at night like they could.
She's just kind of like, I always took it as a positive that I'd learn things that were true and learn more about the world going on around me.
Well,
No, it is. I'm not saying it's not. It's just different ways of life. That's all.
Yeah, and just seems like one of them is full of lies. You see, I say that in the least mean way possible, but
Well, to Ash's defense, learning why the stars the way they are actually is pretty beautiful as well. And learning sort of how all the creatures are the way they are because of not some mystical story, but because of the true history of them, the true science behind it is amazing to find out as a child too. You are told words you don't understand just yet, and you slowly see as you grow up, and
it's
it's
a
a
point
good way
of
to
pride when
mature.
you know what they are,
Indeed,
and you didn't before.
indeed, and it's just beautiful finding out how they work both in a fable and in its truth. The truth behind the world is also can be ugly, but if explained to a child well enough, in the truth can be beautiful.
And honestly, the point of the fables was never the bit that you're calling the lie. It was the bit that held on to the truth. So let's say that the story I refer to with the frog and the polymorphed prince was strictly factual. Let's say that it was purely some prince was transformed into a frog by a wizard, and 1 hour later the spell wore off and no princess was necessary. Or if it was a legendarily powerful spell, the kind that becomes permanent after 1 hour, the princess can't help. The frog can't speak to her. But if you make it into a story, even if the details are, as you put it, a lie, then you have the transformed prince who can speak and explain his plight to the princess, and the princess learning to be kind, and that kindness breaking the spell. And happiness coming from that kindness. That's the point of the fairy tale. That's the point that the child is supposed to learn. Not that frogs talk and can be transformed princes, though it can be fun for a child to let that imagination run away with them. It's about helping. When you get right down
the
to
back of
it.
his head. He's like, I think I get it.
And
Just- Uncle was never that kind, I guess.
the Duke speaks up. And he says, Dashta, do you know the story of how I figured out what the sun was?
What do you mean?
Well, the legend that I told Rosalind here was that a powerful vampire wanted to spy on the greatest enemy. So they looked into a mirror and they could not see themselves, but instead they asked to show them their greatest enemy. And when it showed them the sun, they evaporated. Really, it's a fantasization. Eventually, a wizard and a few other scholars tried to scry on the sun, but because it showed them from too close of an angle, they all went blind. It's a warning that the sun can be dangerous if you look too closely at it. And if a vampire or anyone else is too paranoid, starts to see the greatest enemy, be their downfall. That's the important bit, you know?
I just get the idea that I get my uncle saying, don't look at the sun and don't go looking for what can kill you. And to me, that seemed like pretty good advice, so
Now, I have
I
to
know
ask you, Ashta, did you always listen to your uncle?
he like, stops and thinks for a sec. I mean,
In
what else was
general,
there
yes.
to do?
But I'm sure there were times you rebelled against him, just a little bit in personal ways.
Oh, that was when I was, I mean, older, but young. Older than, being a kid?
So,
Teenager.
what, you
In that case, you must have been a joy to raise. A child who always listens to their uncle or father or mother is a very rare one indeed. Oftentimes, they don't listen to our advice. So we tell them stories that encourage them to follow it without the required authority behind it.
No, just he'd tell me how it is, and if I didn't believe him, I'd probably find out pretty soon. He told me not to look at the sun because it hurt. All I had to do was look up and try it. Well, that sorted my shit out.
Sure, told you not to disturb a baby wolf, and suddenly a wolf showed up because you disturbed it. Be a bit of a lesson, no?
Well, after a few of those lesser ones, you kind of figure out that your uncle knows what he's doing. Also, seeing him kill some of those wolves kind of puts the fear of gods in you.
I imagine that does help. Unfortunately, I didn't kill many wolves in front of my daughter.
No,
but,
I think I would have remembered that.
Yes. Although you did have that one wolf pup that I thought was just a puppy dog.
Actually, eyes like light up for a second. It's like, what?
Oh, I was out hunting for, just deer for a feast that I had to do because we had a visiting archdruid. So I went to go hunt a deer so it could be uh, served for the rest of their men. And then that was going to be that. But instead I found a small dog. I thought it was one of the younger hunting dogs, and I brought it back for Rosalind. And it turned out to be a wolf. And I didn't quite realize until,
He got very big.
yes, very quickly.
Did you keep him around?
No, I eventually had, was convinced to run to the forest.
Oh.
I think I might have told Rosalind it just ran away. This is kind of guilty look on his face as he turns to you.
I vaguely remember that.
Hold it against me?
I don't know, I remember crying a terrible lot.
Oh dear, I'll send you more money in exchange. Or a new dog.
Oh.
No, that's fine.
Are you sure?
we
I have
don't-
any dogs now.
We seem to have picked up a few dogs along the way, so I think that we're, pretty well set.
Although if you find another tiny wolf, you could. You just gotta like stop stalking.
He kind of looks at you and says, would you like a wolf? Yeah.
Yes.
And sir, we're not gonna take in everything that's up.
No, I would like to see one. I've never seen one.
We do have a pack of wolves that we have an understanding with through the group that used to be here. That they keep out of the town, keep larger hunters away, and in exchange we feed them. And one of them is expecting puppies.
I just really love to see one. I've always heard stories.
You've never seen a wolf.
No, they're generally a lot more north.
Ah, I suppose it's true.
Ashta, the look on Ashta's face betrays what he's like saying. I mean, we have other things to do, but we're busy and we can only be here for so long.
How soon are the pups
You want a wolf
expected?
puppet?
The next few days.
And, I imagine it's a few weeks before, at the very least, before they're big enough to leave their mother.
Most of the time, yes, unless you have something else to care for them. I heard mention of dogs.
Yes, and one of them is nursing.
Interesting.
A lot of puppies of her own.
Well, it just serves to make sense that you have a larger guard dog to guard the rest of the guard dogs. You know, an alpha wolf, if you will.
I mean, we have.
He smiles at you for a second, and for a second, it looks exactly like Rosalind did every time she used her charm spells on you.
There's this like. There's this like very like unsure look on his face for like half a second from that. He's just like, we're interviewing everyone else. We're bringing on the thing, so I suppose we could have a small trial bit.
We have a lot of land available to us. That'll be amazing.
An entire forest to potentially run in if he needs the space.
Well,
It's
Indeed.
wonderful
that
to
does
have.
sound wonderful. And Rosalind, do you remember Simone?
Do I
And you
remember?
Simone, who you would know was the daughter of the druid who made the deal with the wolves.
Okay. Okay.
She has been getting that. Oh, forgive me if I use the wrong term, Xenia. I think it's wanderlust that many young elves have,
Oh, it's definitely that term indeed.
and I asked her to stay around for a while longer to, make sure things are running and keep the area safe while we have all these new folks around. But she has asked me if there's any small missions I could send her to after the puppies are born, and I'm just saying, if you ever want her to,
It would be good to have an animal handler.
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Somebody.
I mean, if
who-
you're offering,
maybe a little bit familiar with various beasts and
I-
wilderness.
We
I mean,
are
if-
Oh, and
going
very
to
well
need
trusted by many of
somebody,
the citizens here too.
and we definitely are going to need somebody who will be able to take care of them while we're often being busy. And she looks very pointedly at Ashta with a big shit-eating grin.
I mean, if we were to bring that person on, and if we were to bring on one of the younger wolves, I mean, it stands to reason that they could maybe train the dog to, herd the other wildlife we've got up there. Keep 'em,
Alright.
not from going off the edge and stuff.
Well, I think that might be settled then.
Ah, that does sound very certain. And you see him kind of stand up for a second and say, Simone! And, you see someone stand up from across the room. And as she stands up, you see a rather large wolf jump up behind her with a no sound. Elvin. What elf it looks like. And she goes, yeah, boss! And she says, come on over here for a moment.
Is
And-
that a wolf?
You see her kind of dart around all the tables with a relatively young-looking wolf in tow. She sits down at the table and says, yes? And, the Duke kind of nods and
That's
says,
just all together.
I think I may have found potential future employers if you can pass an interview process. And he gestures towards the rest of you.
Hello. Issa is the one handling most of the interview process, but since we're here, then
Well, we delegate it to you, so we don't. We can
He
handle it as
turns
well.
to you, Ashta, puts a hand on Simon's shoulder and goes, she can shoot a bow better than most of the guards. She can tame an animal I've ever met. She's foraged food for 30 people for a few months in a row. Never seen her get lost before. How does that sound?
You are amazing.
You son of a bitch.
I like her. And you say that you'd like to travel, dear.
And she kind of looks to you and says, I would, yes. Sorry, I know Lady Rosalind, of course. I haven't met any of you.
My name
She
is
goes to
Esther.
shake her hand, Esther.
Esther, and we don't generally stay in one place for too long. We'll
You see her
definitely
eyes
expect
light
to
up
be
as soon as you
busy.
say that.
that being said, did you happen to see the floating landmass, rather hard to miss, that came earlier this day?
Oh, I did. I'm trying to convince one of the giant eagles to let me go up there.
Well,
That would be ours, and that would be where we would be, what we would be using to travel. It is largely unexplored, so we could use somebody with your particular skills. There is a forest, a lake, some rocky areas around the ridge. Not sure they can be called mountains, but for the sake of this, we may as well go with that. Some fields.
You can see almost like a jittery excitement in her hands, but she has like a very stoic expression on her face, like, interesting, alright. And Ashta, as this conversation is going on.
It has very much the same look.
We
And
would
Ashta,
need-
as this is going on, you see the small wolf. It's probably the size, like, up to your hip. You know wolves can easily get up to your shoulders around here. It comes around you and starts sniffing your hand.
and
He puts the hand out.
It kind of starts smelling it up and down, and just,
Also, I'll just click that, just as a
Yep.
reminder.
which part?
innate ability to communicate with beasts, and they recognize you as a kindred spirit through
Yep,
sounds
that's
and
why I was walking up to you.
gestures. Yep. Communicate simple ideas.
He just
And-
kind of
yeah.
puts a hand out and just with a basic kind of intention of hello.
And it starts kind of like nuzzles against your hand and looks up to you, and it does the motion that you recognize as a small a yip of hello, and no sound comes out of it.
He looks up and doesn't vocalize.
And Simone, mid conversation, turns to you and goes, "Oh, you're observant. Yeah, it was attacked by one of its siblings when it was very young, and it injured most of its throat. So I took care of it, raised it back to health, and it never decided to leave me alone.
does it have a name?
It does. Hold on, while I check my notes.
It's just slowly going to
Sorry, slowly going to.
pet the dog.
And as you do, it enjoys the scratching. And as you take your hand off, it kind of like very gently latches onto one of your fingers with its front teeth. Not biting or anything, just holding it. And when you stop pulling away, it presses its nose against your hand again. And here's how you spell the name.
Esther's just gonna lean to Xenia and just what is
A wolf?
Sorry.
that's a wolf?
A very small one.
Oh, that
Ash
is
kind of like
not
looks
what I
around and-
expected.
Ashton looks around and he gets a quiet little feign from Rosalind going, "Don't smile, don't smile."
You just get like a like he doesn't he doesn't send a scream in the vein, but it's almost like you can hear a scream from like the background of.
You look at him and just hear Echo screaming.
Yep. And he's just like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
She just looks over, gives a quick grin, and then turns back to conversation.
It would be good to have someone who knows animals on board who can stay while we're on the ground.
We've also got some wildlife, some are they sheep or goats?
Or she,
Sheep. We've got some sheep if your friend here knows how to herd it all, or if you could kind of teach it.
actually, we
Also,
have,
how is that pronounced?
we have herding dogs with the
It's just
sheep.
like Oser.
Good to have somebody who protects said sheep and dogs.
Well, there's not much predators there, but
That we
At
know.
least that we found. Yes.
it's one who could, have some more of a distinct conversation with someone. If you've
Regardless,
got the know-how that I think.
we're going
Yes,
to
it's-
be busy for the next few days, so we were told that a wolf is expecting some pups. If one of those pups, if the wolf is willing to have it fostered, we do have a female dog up there nursing some puppies of her own. That could be a good foster situation.
I'm sure some of the runs would appreciate the extra milk.
Hmm.
And she kind of like turns to you, Ashton, and goes, "Do you not like me?
What?
You seem hesitant."
He's
I don't know what you're
suspicious
talking
of
about.
everyone.
He's desperately trying not to show how gleeful he actually is.
He's very stoic on the outside, but you'll learn very quickly that he's
There's
actually-
Lefane over to both of them, just like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
He's
I
very,
think
very
it-
desperate.
She kind of stands up, like gets really close to you, Ashton, like almost like nose to nose. She goes, I think you should probably just say what you're thinking. You sure you don't have an issue with me? Even a little bit? Wolf seems to trust you, so why don't you like me?"
He kind of like tilts his head and just like, are you looking for a reason?
"No, but I'd rather you were just forthright with it."
Yes, Ashta, what was it you were saying about telling lies to people?
Lying isn't good, Ashta. You should tell the truth.
Rather than make up a
Uh,
story?
I'm not.
Esther gives Rosalind a high five underneath the table.
You see the Duke actually like get up and like separate you two and go, all right. Simone, appreciate you staying here, but I do think it would be unwise to start issue if this is the direction you'd like to begin your wandering. She kind of sighs and, all right. Sir Duke, Lady Rosalind, Miss Esther, and Ashton. Okay. Nods to you. The dog kind of like rubs against your leg and turns as she walks away to follow her.
He gives it like one last pet.
The tail flicks so it can reach your hand, and then he continues walking.
Ashta.
He's not looking at Esther.
Ashta.
You see Issa just with a lazy grin on her face looking at you, Ashta.
Yeah.
Esther's gonna stand up I'm going to go tell Simone that she has a place on the castle, because that was probably the most I have ever seen you try to fight a smile. And Esther's gonna go and pat him on the shoulder as she walks and just. I think we are all in agreement that she is able to come.
I believe
Issa
so.
nods.
Xenia?
Oh yes. Wandering elves at that young is going to be fun.
Oh, I remember wandering as well, and believe me, I think she'll fit in great. And don't worry, Ashta, there will be plenty of wolves for you to be kindred with. She'll give him a little pat on the cheek and then walk away to go catch up to.
He like lightly flinches at the hand of the cheek, but very slightly.
You see Duke look to you, Ashton, and goes, I do apologize about that. She has a slight temper.
She's forthright.
She is. To the point of rudeness, quite often.
I haven't seen that a lot with elves. Very interesting.
I think that's something to do with the forced imprisonment here, as she calls it.
Oh?
Well, she's technically signed a contract that she works here for long enough until we are more situated, or until the contract is dissolved and we pay her accordingly. But I think approximately 6 months ago she wanted to leave, and a peduncle happened, and it was all rather binding, unfortunately.
Esther kind of like nods with a different look on his face. Just, is that alright?
Yes.
Though if she helped you want to dissolve the contract.
Sorry, say that again.
If she's going with you, folk, I would be more than happy to dissolve the contract.
Again, we'll wait for the pups.
She can come on.
Good.
See, Esther is already long gone.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. And the dinner goes relatively uneventful from now on.
Esther just like grabs a cup of coffee and continues walking.
From there, you guys have a couple hours you can use before bedtime, basically.
Rosalind has a 4-way chess game planned.
Yes, she does.
Dear gods.
It was with Issa and Duke, right?
Issa, Duke, and Ashta, yep.
Alright.
Because she's trying to broaden his repertoire. How many hours does Ashta have left before chess proficiency?
20.
Okay,
How many
so this
hours
isn't going to do
before
it.
bedtime?
Probably, yeah, 2.
Okay.
It's not multiplicative by the people, is it?
No.
Alright.
It can be doubled. In extreme situations, it can be like 2.5 or tripled, but no, it's nothing like that. It's not exponential.
Okay.
Alright.
So if you only want to spend 1 hour, we'll only do 1 hour. If you've got something else you want Ashta to do before sleeping.
2's fine. I want to get the dragon chest out of the way.
Okay, then. Conrad, do you even have roles for the Duke and for Issa?
I'm checking Issa's right now. I think I remember the number for the Duke.
Okay.
Can Esther just do enchanting for the 2 hours?
Sure. There's Issa. Oh, I don't have a sheet for the Duke anymore.
By the way, how do you pronounce the name of the dog? Or the wolf?
Ose.
Ose.
Rosalind's... Yep.
And there is
Esther
the
just
Duke.
can't win.
I think she's cleaning the board of everybody. So
Right.
that's the first game. Oh!
Damn!
My God!
halfway through the game.
So question, real quick.
Sure.
No, before this, what's the setup here?
It's 2 nat
Um,
20s.
it is
free
exactly
for
as you
all.
imagine. Imagine the grid for chess, extended by
Okay.
maybe 2 pieces
But it's
on
free
each
for
side.
all,
so
yeah?
you can-
It's
It is
free
free
for all.
for
I
all.
was gonna suggest free for all one game and then like pairs for the other.
That's what I was gonna say. If this was pairs, my god.
Yeah, the first round is free for all. That being said, within probably 10 minutes of the game starting, the Duke and Issa are out, just consumed by the two of you. And it's just you two playing. It's a fantastic match. You see Issa and the Duke just watching like intently the whole time.
Can that get like 1 extra hour?
Please. It's a crit against
It was
a
220.
crit.
You know what? I'll call that an extreme circumstance. Fine.
Thank you.
So is it 3 hours then?
Yeah.
Alright. And then another 2, so 5 total.
Let's see for the second game.
I want to see how the second game goes. Okay, what are the pairs for the second game?
Issa and the Duke against.
Rosalind and
alright,
Ashton? Rosalind is
yeah.
going to open up a Fane connection with Ashton.
I was gonna say, how does Fane work with our roles right now?
Please, can they both just be like, I'm going to cheat this time, and the Fane meet in the middle between their heads?
Yep. Yeah, I'll say that's fair. Go ahead and take advantage of the rolls. Oh, fuck. Well, Issa rolled a 6 and the Duke rolled a 12, so.
Oh,
Yike.
Oh,
thank goodness for advantage, that was a 1 on my part in the first roll.
Oh, that was a 7 for me,
We
but
got
they are
exactly
in
the
sync
same
at least.
number. They are.
I fucking hate you guys sometimes.
It's fucking insane.
So you destroy them. You can tell Issa is definitely off her game, and the Duke is playing a bit too cautiously against you two. And it just does not go well.
After the destruction of the last game,
Pretty much, yeah.
everyone's too scared to make too much of a move.
Well, the Duke is too cautious. Issa is desperately trying to bait you into the simplest things, just because she's angry at this point, and it just doesn't work.
But Ash just got the insight, and Rosalind's got the planning.
Yep. And yeah, the game goes. The Duke and Issa look at each other like, "Did you teach her? No, I didn't teach her." And just look at you like mildly bitter.
A good game. And he puts the head out.
The Duke shakes and says, "Don't lie to me.
Very
It was
good game.
You definitely don't lie to me." Issa's just like sitting back, her arms crossed in her seat.
disgruntled look.
Yes.
Well, I was afraid that Ashton was getting too used to my playstyle and wouldn't be able to handle variation, but that was a
Issa's
pleasant
just like, "No, I think he handled himself just fine."
I think he looks over and it's like, I think you're like playing with weights on. I've gotten used to it.
Issa's still looking very bitter in her seat.
Issa, look at it this way. I'm sure that if you challenged either one of us to arm wrestling, you would throw us across the room.
She places her elbow on the table and looks at you, Ashta.
That wasn't quite what I intended by that.
I need to win something tonight.
He got like sighs. Fine, and he puts the arm down.
Alright, roll an athletics check.
He looks and he's like, I hold no disillusions that you're going to destroy me.
Dear God! Oh! Ashton did surprisingly well! If that wasn't a nat 20.
At first, you kind of, like, hold off on her pretty well, and it's more than she was expecting, you can see that. And you just see this anger come over her, and she just slams her hand to the table, and, like, pulls you close and says,
I was gonna say, is this not like a increment?
No, it's
Okay.
just one. It's just one.
Okay. No, I just
She,
wanted
like,
to see him,
slams
like,
your arm to the table, and,
trying.
like, grabs you by the shirt and pulls you closer and says, "Don't test me, boy."
He's wearing armor, but
Grabs you by the armor then.
yep. He's like, wasn't planning on it. Just playing chess.
Good. He lets gets up and says, "Oh, good game, Rosalind. You're going in then."
Thank you for giving us their time.
She kind of nods and ruffles her hair for a second before she goes to walk off, and the Duke stands up, pats off his clothes, and says, "Alright, back to bed, and in the morning, more dukedom."
Maybe tomorrow I'll try to see what I can do with that marble for you. I've got an idea.
Please do. Although if you have other needs, make sure you get them done.
Uh,
I assume.
where,
Do my best.
where could I find that, Simone? Usually,
By now, probably out in the forest.
tomorrow, more so.
If I see her, I'll tell her to stick around long enough for one of us to find you. She comes and goes as much as she can.
Alright.
Well, we should probably get back to the others. There was one thing that I think Esther wanted before going to sleep. I'd better see if she still needs help with. So, good night, and we'll see you in the morning.
He nods. You guys can head to your rooms.
I'm gonna go find, I need both Ashta and Esther because there's 2 dream spells to attempt.
Alright.
So, Esther first. I'm gonna go in and say, alright, we're going to try to get you in touch with your mother, but I'm going to need some familiarity. Is there a simple memory or two of her specifically that you wouldn't mind sharing across your fane with me?
Oh God. There are many. Is it bad how nervous I am for this?
Not necessarily.
You're not the only one right now.
I haven't spoken to my mother in so very long. I don't even know if my letters reached her.
We're going to do our
Well-
best. I can't guarantee this will work. I don't know if it's the same as knowing somebody, but we're going to try.
Okay. And Esther will give you a memory. You see, you don't more so see as you hear. It's obviously through the eyes of Esther. She's focused on this board that seems to be underneath her feet. And she kind of explains that this was the first time her mother taught her how to surf. Or do you actually need to see her?
I need to see her.
Ooh.
I need visual.
Okay, so she'll send another memory. Details might be a bit fuzzy, but you see a shorter woman, shorter than Esther, closer to Ashta's height, short cut, red curly hair, darker skin, blazing eyes that are just like Esther's. She has Suldar, orange, though a darker shade. Very different to what Esther has. Esther is more flame patterned, hers is more swirls and loops. And she's just laughing and laughing. And Esther will explain it was just over something stupid her brother had said at dinner.
There's a smile on
This-
Rosalind's face when it clears.
And that's my mother. Short and stocky and will kick your ass. But she loves us. She loves us very much.
Short only to you. She seemed about my own height.
Well, when you have enough height range of somebody to be your height and somebody to be almost 7 feet tall, it's she's one of the shorter ones.
I see. 7 feet.
My
That's, not the important
my younger brother, he was only maybe 6.5, but I'm sure he's grown by now.
Well, from what I've heard about siblings and height, I'm sure he's insufferable for it.
Oh no, actually, we tease him mostly about his height. He's very shy.
Really?
Yes, he does not like his height being commented on.
Then I have heard wrong. Alright, this is how this works. And she'll just explain the casting spell, Esther being in the trance, and targeting Esther's mom, and, if the spell takes hold but her mom isn't asleep yet, then Esther can just stay in the trance as long as needed. It lasts 8 hours or until Esther ends it at any time and she can control, like, the dreamscape. So, basics
Okay.
out of the way, Rosalind will ask if Esther would like her to wait for her to come out of the trance.
No, it's okay. I don't know how long it will take, but I'll come find you after it's done.
Assuming I'm not completely asleep by then. In that case,
Assuming.
I'll try to stay up for a little while. Try not to remain for the entire 8 hours. I don't think you'll get much rest if you do that.
I will most certainly try not to.
Alright. Then sit down and let's try this.
Oh, wish me luck.
So, I need you to make a charisma check, Rosalind.
Mm-hmm.
For this, if you'd like, you can take advantage.
That's a 19. Is the advantage from the feign or from something I need to check off? Or is it just an open...
No, it's just an open advantage.
Okay, I'll go ahead and roll again just in case. 19.
Alright. Give me a second to do the math for what the DC is.
Probably high.
Okay.
It's a little bit based on the scrying spell. Rosalind is not very familiar, just because she's never met this person. And so we're kind of finagling according to how, a creature known to you is the target. So, how close does a feigned memory get you to that?
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely better than just like a likeness or please. -3 modifier to the DC.
What?
I don't know.
So, Esther, do you have something that your mother owned on you?
Give me a second. I definitely would. I just have to see.
Okay, we'll assume you brought it out. Honestly, I'm tempted to say that just being her child counts as that.
She would take a crystal off of one of her necklaces and hand
Okay.
that over. It was a necklace of her.
In that case, you definitely pass the DC, Rosalind.
Yay.
Alright. So, as the world begins to go dark, Esther, for a moment, it's interesting because you don't see anything, but you just feel this innate creativity to what exists around you for just a brief moment. And you're pretty sure that this is what the Firebirds talk about when they try to tell you what their meditation is like. And then suddenly you see your mother. And she's standing in front of you, big smile on her face, slightly dirty and unkempt, but seemingly happy. And there's a brief moment where she looks at you and goes, pleasant dream in a trying time. Good to see. She kind of looks around, like, very stagnant dream, though.
Mama?
Oh, hello, dear. Nice to see you again.
No, Mama, this isn't a dream.
Oh, God. I didn't die, did I?
No, no, it's magic. It's really good to see you.
Wait, is this actually you?
It's me.
And she like rushes up to you and gives you a big hug.
And Esther hugs her as tight as she possibly can. I missed you so much.
When do you come back?
As soon as I can. I was on my way, but I got caught up in a little bit of stuff.
What happened? Where are you right now, and how are you?
I'm in Anther. A friend of mine. She's able to use this magic of hers to allow me to visit you in your dreams.
Oh,
Oh, here. Give me a second. And Esther's gonna try to shape the darkness into, basically just the interior of like a tent.
okay. Just easy enough.
There. At least now there's a little bit of light.
I see your skills have gotten much stronger.
Well, I'm not exactly the same as I was.
Well, no, did it traveling that long?
No, did Algian see it when my soul left?
I'm sorry, you're what now?
Oh, she didn't tell you, did she?
No. Should I be concerned?
No, no, shit. Okay, first off, I'm alive, so it's fine. But for a little
Damn well better
while,
be.
I might not have been, and
He's gonna
they
just like pinch the prisoner's nose, like, go on.
they took my magic. They took my. There's a reason I wasn't to be a scion, Mama. It came true. I'm not a scion because I'm no longer a scion. I have different magic now. They took it and replaced it with something
Who
else when I
is...
was gone.
Is it who I think it is?
I don't know. The memories are blocked. It was some lady in the Astral Sea. But I can't remember her. I just know her voice and her hands. And the pirate ship. Like the one in the legend in the desert.
That's who I feared.
Who is it, Mama? Do you know?
I don't.
But I'm stronger now. And now I know why I was never meant to be a scion.
But you're okay now, right?
I'm okay. I promise you, I'm okay. I have friends. I have a very close group. But I will explain all of this again when I see you in person. We will have much more time. But I need to ask, has Sagittarius come close to you?
I don't know who Sagittarius is. But if he's the
Salamander?
leader of these horsemen, then yes.
Yes, that's him. The salamanders, right?
If that is what they're known as, then yes.
Shit, that's what I feared. Okay.
It's alright, we're not trying to fight them head to head. We're not foolish.
I know.
This land is ours and we know how to protect it.
I know we know. I know. Have you spoken to the other tribes? Have the councils met?
They've tried to, but, divide and conquer seems to be the name of our opponent's game.
Yeah, that's what I feared. Is there anything you can tell us about his army? Any possible reconnaissance that has
They
been
don't
done?
like sand. Makes it very hard for the horses to run. Really don't know why you have a beast that can't run on sand.
Um, it's not exactly like they're intelligent. They're salamanders. Regardless. You said sorry?
That's alright, just using. How do
There
you
are-
know about this fight? You are no longer in the desert, I thought.
I'm not. There's a city outside of the desert, outside of the Plains of Wrath. It's called Anther. Did you hear about the disaster in Peduncle?
In passing, yes, huge fire or something like that?
4 elemental beings destroyed the city.
Genasi?
No, I don't know. But oh, sorry, one sec.
It's the, voice call buffers. The mother. See Esther freeze for a second, it's
It's like a
just
Skype
static.
call.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, my grandma came in.
Yep.
No. Well, in a way, you know the elemental planes. You know that's where our people live, right?
Of course.
Well,
Long ago, but yes.
even now they still live, and they're angry. The druidic magic draws off the elements. We know this. And there are, I suppose the best way to call them is rulers. Each plane has a ruler. This ruler is known as a zodiac. Uh, the one currently on our front lines is Sagittarius. He's one of the more proficient ones with war. And we're trying to stop him.
What's the plan? Can we help?
Yes, this is why I knew talking to you would be the best thing ever. Um, this is why I knew I could reach out. Yes, we need reconnaissance. If there is any way, I know the spies can get in. Is Kryana home or is she out?
So hold on, I see. Look through the list I wrote down. You have many siblings.
I know.
Little-
I know. That's why I'm laughing.
At the moment she's trying to figure out what she can. She's been our primary scout for knowing where the attacks are coming from so we can prepare. We just
Okay.
mold the land to disallow them to move around us. So they must stay in front. We can fight from the front, it's much easier.
So one of the best options is to lead them into the desert. If they can't fight with the
Perhaps.
mounts.
Perhaps, but while they can move slowly with their mounts, they can still fight with them. And with those bows and arrows they have, they're still just as dangerous.
Of course. I mean, at least there's not much to burn out here.
Sure. Put out fires as much as we can, but that's usually where we get attacked and have to retreat.
Okay. I need you to find out as much as you can about the oncoming attacks, about their strategies, about their leader, if he's with them, if he's not with them. As much as you can. Please find out what Kryna knows, and if you can, speak to the council. I need to know everything.
Alright.
I'm working with the Goblinoid army. One of my friends is intertwined on accident into their ranks, so it's either we assist or he dies. So you know how it is.
Well, you know how I feel about large, organized fighting forces.
Oh, I know.
Make sure he remembers himself. He's not just a cog.
No, of course. Our group is our own unit. It's only a few of us. Believe me, if there's one thing we're trying to do, it is not be cogs in the machine.
Good.
Oh, just wait until you hear what's in store.
Oh, I'm excited. Now, what is this you said about dying?
Oh. I,
You can see her eyes are just slowly getting like larger in the flames you see within them.
I died. For a short while. I was killed by an Azer. Ironically. But my friends, we were doing a mission, just a job, just for spending money to, you know, for information. But they gave up all the money to bring me back.
I'm just glad you found good friends then.
They are.
Why were you fighting Azer?
Why were we fighting an Acer?
Yes.
No, I'm asking you because I forgot.
They were robbing a bank?
It wasn't a bank, they were robbing warehouses.
Yep.
So
They
yeah.
were robbing warehouses. We were asked to help. I got too close. It went bad. My psionic abilities were taken, but they were replaced with something I think fits me a lot better.
Is this how you contacted me? Some ability?
No, this is through my companion. She is able to. But there are many things I can do. I can't wait to show you.
hopefully I'll be able to see it in person soon.
Of course, I'm.
Now I have to ask you.
excited.
She kind of looks you up and down. Have you been slacking on your morning runs?
No, of course not.
She's rolling an insight check.
Esther's been doing other exercise beside a morning run. She's been dragon.
Roll a deception.
She didn't ask about other exercises, she asked about morning runs.
And you said, of course not. Nice.
Fuck you.
Tempted to give her mom advantage, but not this time.
She gets a mom +2, but it's not enough.
Fine.
I've been doing a lot more than morning runs as well. A lot of fighting.
You're so skinny still.
It's not my fault.
You need to bulk up. Eat more food.
I'm trying.
Clearly not well enough.
They don't cook. They don't cook good out there.
Then you cook. You know how. I know you do.
I try to cook, but they don't like my food. They say it's too spicy.
Then make it for yourself and make sure you get enough food.
I try. They are northerners and they don't like me using their supply.
Buy your own. I will send you the money.
Also,
Mom.
bullshit ass is a freak.
Mama, no, Mama, you don't have
I
to.
will send you a pot and pan, so help me.
We have cook's utensils, Esther.
Mama, please. You know I'm more magic fighting. You know that.
Dear, you are from the desert. The desert is full of magic. We still need to be able to survive with our bodies to be able to use magic.
I can
I-
feel the finger wagging.
Yes, Mama. I promise. When I come to visit, you will be able to feed me as much as you like. Believe
Are you
me, I
at
will
least,
ever-
at least, doing yoga before you go to bed?
Yes, that I am. I can tell you that. Esther is, actually.
Okay.
Those are like kind of childhood drilled in things.
She kind of just. You see actually like the flame in her eyes. It starts to slowly calm down. She says, "I'm going to send you back with so much food. And if you plan to tell me that it's still there after 2 days, I will personally hunt you down and force it down your throat."
I understand, Mama. But believe me, I think when you see, let's just say, what I come home with, you might be a bit surprised.
If you bring home another scorpion,
No! Oh! God, no. No! No. The last time I did that, it stung me, and I've never been able to look at another one since.
not a
No.
lion cub or anything like that.
No? Nothing like that! You get me?
She kind of just sighs and says, "Well, it'll be a welcome surprise."
Oh yes, I'm sure you will be very excited. I will try to reach out to you again tomorrow to get the information. Is that okay?
Still around tomorrow, sure. It's been stressful.
Yeah, the answer is the castle. How have you been? Have you been on the front lines? Have you been on the back?
What do you think?
I know you've been on the front lines. That was a stupid question. Do they have any weaknesses that you've noticed in close combat?
They're spear users, so oftentimes if you can get close enough to make them uncomfortable with their bows, they'll throw the spears at you. Then all they have is a dagger sometimes. I find divide and conquer works just as well.
Interesting. Okay. So they're range weapons. So they use range weapons. They're not good at close combat, are they?
They're competent.
Mm.
Come on.
But
we don't-
competent isn't exactly good.
But just remember who you're talking to here. Competent is enough.
Understandable.
That being said, they know how to protect each other very well. They're experienced in group fighting.
Okay. So divide and conquer is the best way to go.
It seems they've their own weakness and used it against others. Admirable,
What
really.
we know. Pardon?
Admirable, really.
Truly. I will commend them. They do have a great leader in order for them to fight as well as they do, but our main goal is Sagittarius. He needs to be, in lack of a better terms, disposed of.
Murdered.
What does he look?
A very large salamander.
Keep in mind, you've got control of the image of the dream.
Oh,
And Ash
Esther
has
will,
sent faint mental images to everyone.
Esther will show an image of him.
She kind of like walks around, and looks up and down, and says, "I've seen this horse before. Not the man on top of it.
Wait, you've seen the horse without the rider?
Well, no.
What?
Huh?
Conrad?
Shit.
Okay,
Oh.
there you are.
Nope, I think he's...
He
Even that oh
always-
shit was pretty rough. Usually his expletives are at least somewhat clear.
Also, y'all, welcome to Esther's mother.
Yay! Not with this rider, she says.
Interesting.
Is it... Was Sagittarius wearing... not wearing... Riding the same kind of horse as everyone else?
Nightmare.
No.
Nightmare.
He was riding a nightmare as far as you've seen everyone else riding the iron mounts.
The metallic ones, so yeah. It was just him on the nightmare.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so not with this rider. So you have you ever seen this rider or just the nightmare?
I mean, I did see the rider, and I forced a few sharp objects into its throat, and we kept the body and paraded it around for a while.
As we do. But
Yeah.
it's not this rider, is it?
No, not sure who this one is, but
This
this
is
one did
their
look
leader.
similar.
This is their leader. This is Sagittarius. Or
Oh.
that's the name he goes by.
Well, whoever this leader is, whoever was riding his horse last got killed this morning. So,
I'll have to see. Keep taking them out as best you can.
of course. Anything
I
you
know
can
you
suggest for
are.
us?
Use the sand to our advantage. As
always
always,
do.
the desert will provide. We just need to
Always. We've been using the sand to protect us most of the arrows, and then while one controls the sand, as soon as they make an opening for us to step through, everyone rushes out, takes out one rider, and then returns.
Glorious. Alright.
Remember those small reptiles that have the carapace on their back?
Yes.
Kind of like that.
Alright. So, the best I can say is keep at what you're doing. It seems to be looking most effective. I'll try contacting you again tonight with more information. Please speak to Kryana and try to get through to the council. Tell them that they have forces working on the other side of the army.
I
Maybe
think the council has been rather occupied.
I know.
They
They're-
made some kind of deal with the army to the north.
Yes, I'm going to have to ask about that. But when this is over, when this battle has been finished, we will be coming to visit. We might visit sooner, but we will be coming back. And there's a lot that I'm going to have to ask the council for.
Alright.
And it's going to take all the tribes for me to be able to discuss this. You know how you don't like being a cog in the machine? Well, there might be a chance that we can break the machine.
Glad to hear it.
I knew you would.
You said you are, in vague contact with the army
Yes.
to the north?
in actually quite significant contact.
I think Raina was speaking to them, or going to speak to them, either tomorrow or the day after. She took some kind of cloak to keep her hidden. Some kind of negotiation she wants to make. I'm not sure what about.
Okay. I will attempt to get to speak with her as soon as possible.
All right.
Well, I have to let you sleep then.
Yes.
I will contact you again tomorrow, I promise.
Please do. Go on your morning run.
I will. I really miss you, Mama. I'm sorry I've been gone for so long.
That's all right.
You know
Everyone has to
why.
leave for as much time as they need to leave.
I need to ask though, is he still in the tribe? Or did he leave as well?
There's like 6 he's you could be talking about.
X!
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of he's, okay?
No.
She kind of like, you see her eyes harden and just... No, not anymore.
Good.
Though from what I've heard, many of the exiles have decided to make their own tribe in service to that northern army.
Wait, exiles? No, no. Oh no. Oh. There will be several discussions I will need to have then with my group, Asa. In the off chance I do happen to see Dad.
And you can see him.
Pardon?
You're like a bit.
Yep. And if you see him, something. Probably the most important part of the sentence, as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't you worry. And, is my ex still happen to be in the tribe? Or did he leave as well?
Test.
Test,
Hey.
test.
So many fucking notes. Hold on.
Just... That was up to you if you wanted him to be in the tribe.
Yep, just reading through what I wrote down.
Liz.
Look, I wrote down something for every one of your siblings and every character you gave me, okay?
Love you so much, Conrad. You have no idea. No, I know that Dad was exiled.
See her kind of, look back and forth, almost like away from you, like she's trying to find someone else, and just... He's... been throwing himself on the front lines with reckless abandon.
Well, he's a righteous prick.
He is, but he's unfortunately fighting quite well.
Wonderful. Well, with any luck, you'll get an arrow to the knee, and he'll be forced to sit out.
Well, he got a few, and he actually, he's lost his legs.
Wait, what?
A few days ago, he was fighting. Took enough injuries, and the legs couldn't be saved. So instead, we had prosthetics made for him, and he fights with them and a bladed cane.
As much as he angers me, I'll have to admit I'm rather impressed. Oh well. It shall continue as it is. Now, I will let you get rest. There's a lot
Please
to be
do.
done. I will reach out to you in the next evening, I suppose. Tell the others I say hello, that
Of
I miss
course.
them. And give Algian a bit of a pinch for not telling you what happened.
He has his reasons, I'm sure.
No, I know. I know they know my soul left.
He has his reasons. You know he's odd.
She.
She.
Alright, well. Goodbye, Mama.
Goodbye.
Miss
See you soon.
And she'll give her mom one more hug before ending the
She
dream.
hugs you back. And fades. The darkness around you and the still maintained stature of Sagittarius fades into a brief blackness. For moments you just think you've gone to sleep. Start to see pinpricks of stars around you. And in front of you sits a strange little creature. Can't quite tell how tall they are. There's no point of how far away they are. But they're sitting in this high-backed chair, seemingly made of stone. Purple gems running through the back. You can see the back of their head as they kind of rest their chin just far enough out that you can see them. Not looking at you. But you can feel their eyes upon you.
Hello?
They turn to face you. You wake up.
And she'll just wake up with a gasp.
It's not morning. It's been maybe an hour since you went to bed, but the dream spell has ended.
Fuck. Sorry, you said so a little creature is sitting in a chair.
At least it looks little. The chair comes up to maybe mid-shoulder. But past that, it's just a vaguely humanoid shape. Grayish purplish skin. From behind, it's hard to tell much more than that, but you're not quite sure.
Oh, so I was facing the back of the chair.
Yeah.
Makes more sense. Okay. Did I see anything when it turned to look at me?
No, it blinked out too quick.
That's really interesting and I hate you. Also, fuck you with the exile tribe thing. Fuck you.
Fight me. You gave me a bunch of ammunition. I used it.
Oh, I did, and I'm so happy.
Consider shots fired.
So, I imagine you
Oh,
go
sorry.
to speak to Rosalind.
If Rosalind is still awake.
Honestly, I have no idea if Rosalind's still awake, because she was gonna stay awake just in case Ashta's dream took a while, if it went off.
Alright.
If the
So.
dream failed, she might have gone to sleep sooner.
Alright, so let's take care of Ashta then.
Yeah. So, same spell. She's already got feign memories, visuals, etc. Is there an advantage already on this or no?
Sorry, who are you
Um,
sending dream to?
Carson.
Carson, right, okay. One sec, I'll upload those notes too.
Yeah, sorry.
That's alright. I wrote them down for this reason.
I'm so fucking happy. Connor, did you like write a certain thing for each one of the siblings?
I wrote vague notes on each of them, yeah.
Is it on the Google Doc?
No. Because that would give you too
Aw.
much knowledge.
Oh.
You'll find out when you get there.
Yep. Alright. So. Take the advantage on the check, yeah.
Okay. Charisma. Oh my god! Oh my god! That's a 9. With advantage. I rolled a 4 and a 3.
Oof.
Ouch. I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
Well, it's possible it might still succeed. What are you guys using to help your DC?
Um... That? She was given Fane memories of Carson. She saw him, she heard him speak. She got a sense of personality, if that counts for anything.
It helps.
Beyond that, she has seen, like, ink renditions of him in the past by Ashta.
Probably pull one of them out.
I do not know if Ashta has anything, like, physical object-wise that would help. The way that Esther did.
If it's on, like, scrying rules, not really.
Okay, so then yeah, it still fails.
Yeah, no.
Alright.
So I'm sorry, I
Can't quite find them, or...
No, I think that I didn't have a good enough focus or something. I can't try again tonight, but tomorrow. Yeah, Rosalind would have gone to bed. This would have been immediately after Esther's dream, so she's asleep by the time Esther
Well,
wakes up.
I was gonna say one thing.
Yeah.
I should just think for a second. Like, there might be. Remind me to mention something the next time we try, I guess.
Very well, I'll try to remember. You do as well. I'll stay up another 10 or 20 minutes just in case Esther finishes by then, but then I'll sleep. You go ahead and get some rest.
And he kind of like pauses for a second and goes, yeah, I think I will. And then proceeds to go upstairs, find the room Rosalind stayed in, and put an alarm spell on it. And then just kind of grab a chair and sit near the hallway where the party is staying. Alright, sleep.
And you notice Issa walking the hall. Nighttime.
Just kind of gives a wave.
She nods to you. She's in full armor, and you can tell she's just patrolling.
So,
That is
Um,
getting goddamn rest, and she will tell him so if she walks past him to her room after waiting 20 minutes. But she
by the
can't
way.
do anything to force him, so she'll go to bed and she'll sleep for like 20 minutes, half an hour before Esther comes in.
Probably.
Esther, like, runs in.
Before that, hold on.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, Esther. Issa kind of like nudges you, Ashta, before as you're like starting to fall asleep. She says, "By the way, where'd your cleric go?"
what do you mean?
On their own.
What, Zia?
Yeah.
He got pauses. Was she not just heading to bed?
No, she never came up to the room.
He thinks for a second. Sends a Fangs in his way. Where are you?
Esther.
Sorry, what was that?
No answer.
Oh god.
He pauses for
Oh,
a sec.
Stop doing
Yeah.
this.
Hey, he'll check with the Fangs. Like, are you getting to Xenia, or with no response, and there's no response back, or can you not?
Basically, we're sending the message. She's received the message. Or they've received the message. Just chose not to answer, I suppose.
Xenia, if you're not responding on purpose, that's a way to get a manhunt hunt out for you.
Just one message of I'm fine.
You better be. And he looks back at Issa. Apparently she's fine. Or they're fine.
Just shrugs and says, "All right, well, I'll make sure I have breakfast waiting for them.
Yeah, keep an eye out. Let me know if you do see them.
Will do. Gee, the patrol. Oh boy! Yeah.
Oh no.
What have you done?
Oh no.
Roll a con save.
Oh
No.
What
Oh,
is happening?
I'm assuming
Hi.
there's a chat that's going on.
Yeah.
Hi.
Well, there's DM rolls going on.
Hmm.
Okay. This is what I think it is.
So Xenia.
no.
Oh my god.
Wow, fuck, I didn't expect that.
Great.
You're really good at finding trouble, you know that?
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
So I'll give you one chance to send a feign message if you'd like. Before your body locks up from the poison.
What do you mean?
Yep. Zia locks up. Castle. Help. Forest. Done.
Oh my god.
So what were the 3 words?
Castle.
Castle.
Help.
Help. Forest.
Asher like shoots up and goes, "She's not fine."
Issa looks at you, let's go.
Grab her.
And she kicks open the door, Rosalind, a very loud crash. Esther starts rounding the corner, and you see Issa kick down Rosalind's door.
Yep, Rosalind is flailing up out of bed.
How
Yep.
the hell
Grab
did
it for a
you
wand.
do it?
Yep, it's Xenia. Something's wrong. Let's go.
Up in the castle.
Let's-
Forest.
Oh god.
Can I ask
Oh no.
what's happening?
He'll just like
Running.
relay the message he got to everyone else.
Oh, fuck.
Running after, has not had time to put any armor on, has no armor. Grabbed her wands.
Esther's running out towards where
Hey, Esther, you got
Rose dropped the
Oh.
thing.
of character. Esther, you have mage armor.
No.
I
We could
got
do-
rid of that.
Wonder if the wizard had it.
Nope.
Esther's not that smart.
Rosalind's grabbed her shield, but she's not proficient with it, so she won't be able to use it in combat and cast magic. So this is gonna be great. Okay. Run, and she's going to feign Azkiel. I think that's her red bird friend.
As Kayar.
Azkayar, sorry. Names, where are they? Where are they? There they are.
Esther will do the same.
And just, feign message. Please help, can you get us to Xenia?
And within 20 seconds, you can hear the wing beats and an occasional and then a pop, as it seems like 12 firebirds have descended from the castle. And are currently flying your
What
guys'
the hell's
direction.
going?
Esther's gonna hold up her wrists.
And as you do, 2 of the birds, you don't quite recognize them, but they grab any of you except for Askar, who's leading the flock. Notice there are 3 carrying both Issa and Ashta.
Yep.
As they start flying you up, they start asking you where you want to land, basically.
By the forest. Has any one of you seen Xenia nearby?
You need to get back up. How'd you get to the castle?
What?
What?
How'd you get up to the castle?
Zia probably asked one of the birds and then went to the castle and just walked off.
Alright. Roll me a d6, Xenia.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, fun. 4.
Check that.
Yeah, that poison DC, I rolled a 16. I thought I passed it.
Yeah, I have a potion of greater healing. I don't know. If that'll
That's
work.
for healing, like, health.
That's what I
I'm a
mean.
player, I
I-
can do that.
We'll see.
As Kyrie mentions to whoever asked that Orel was in charge of bringing Xenia up to the castle and drawn in the forest. And you see him look for a second, and again, while he was flying up, the cream-colored bird starts flying up next to you and begins commingling, giving you directions as to where to land. Now we're going to take a quick 5-minute break while I make a map that I didn't think I'd need.
Oh,
Well then.
my
I'm
god.
sorry, Conrad, I love you.
Doesn't take too long.
Xenia, what the fuck?
Well, I might be using that 6th level Mystic Arcanum finally.
Oh boy.
I
did
have-
something I did something I thought would just be fine character stuff. I rolled a nat 1 on a check, and then I fucked up.
Why did you kill? Why?
Did you just
What
like
did you do?
eat some fucking poison ivy or something?
No. No.
Did you
Oh,
eat a
I didn't
mushroom?
tell you guys what it.
No.
We have
So-
no idea what the hell's going on.
There's some dangerous stuff on the island
Yeah, okay.
No shit.
Thanks for that update.
with a really high poison DC.
Did you-
Because Conan apparently has a table.
Did you find an enormous spider? Or something?
Not a spider. You're
We'll
close.
see when we get there.
You'll
Yeah.
see when you.
No, I was just imagining it was a spider because Lolth and that whole plotline that's been kind of on the wayside and in
Oh,
wait.
no.
A little bit.
Lilith can go fuck herself. It's under the bridge. I have the Raven Queen. She's a babe.
Is she though? Is she fucking really?
Friendship ended with Wolf for Raven Queen is my new best friend.
There
Yeah.
was no friendship with Lolth, but okay.
No,
Lilith
friendship ended
likes-
with Lilith. Coralon is my new best friend. Friendship ended with Coralon. Raven Queen's my new best friend.
Oh my god.
I mean, Lolth liked spiders, but she was a fucking snake.
You're on the
shit.
nose.
Does New Xenia still have the tattoos?
Yeah.
Alright,
Who do you
just
think I
wondering.
am?
No, I was just wondering if like the Raven Queen like took an eraser marker to the spider.
No. Well, it's not a spider. Xenia just has the emblem of wolf. It's not a spider.
Okay, well what's the emblem of Wolf?
It's fuck. I can't. It's a sunburst. Well, like a starburst thing. It's really similar to the Coralon one. They look
Alright.
really similar.
Well, either way, I'm with the Raven Queen of not taking an eraser to those, maybe.
Xenia had a choice of whether to keep what gender preference they could keep. So I'm not. I don't know.
There's a difference between
I-
gender preference and like tattoo of a different god.
Well, from last time when Xenia wore the sleeveless shirt, they had their tattoos.
Alright.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I fucked up.
Just a wee bit.
Just a wee bit.
Just leave it.
Is it okay? Is it an animal or is it like flora?
We don't know, we'll get there.
I told you what it was. I did say on the nose. You said something, and I said on the nose.
Stung on the
But, like-
nose?
You know, I didn't finish this sheet because I didn't think I'd need it today.
The only thing I said was shrooms.
Nope. You said something else.
Scorpion?
Uh,
Oh, snake, you motherfucker.
There we
Alright,
go.
This is gonna be fun.
What do you
I'm
mean
so
character
sorry, guys.
shit? Why did you go to talk to the snakes?
Not
Oh.
talk to the snakes.
Kill the snake?
Eat the snakes?
Explore the
Sky's got
forest.
it.
hope this-
Guys
Kill-
got it. We can
kill-
ask about this in character after like we're all safe.
Yes.
Is it?
Good point.
Is this friendship ended with Raven Queen? Now you on T gods are my best friend.
This is something
That would be
for-
hilarious.
No, I haven't used this sheet enough to do that, and also I don't want to make another sheet.
Xenia, I'm always a slut for changing God.
Excuse me, I changed once. I considered it twice. I only went with it once. 'Cause the second one didn't want to kill Rosalind. I went with it once, and now I'm a cleric. I would have been a paladin with the fucking Lolth bitch. Ew, I have charisma. Oh, sorry, Rosalind. Sorry, the two charisma characters I've recently played.
Yeah.
Oh, this is fantastic levels of salt.
Dear Lord.
I'm salty towards myself. I thought this was gonna be a plain, nice and dandy, go out into the forest, murder a fucking snake. No.
But why kill a snake?
That's for character reasons. You can ask that in character.
Wow.
Their answers. Am I gonna say them out of character? No, bitch. I just got a coughing attack.
Please. be
Sorry, you just got a
okay.
what?
I just started coughing, and I'm like, I brought a drink down because I was coughing, and then I just didn't drink it because people brought the salt.
Oh.
Oh, this is fun.
Oh, I am overjoyed. I have some spell slots left. Woohoo! Cheers to that.
I have none.
Correct.
I have Mystic Arcanum. I have potentially a couple things that I can kind of do at will but are not combat.
Oh, Rosalind, I just saw what you put in the fucking chat. Friendship with common sense. Now Cass is my new best friend.
Actually, I've got the Book of Akkad.
Oh
So, there's a few spells.
Astra is ready to fucking destroy.
Yes, he is in his armor. The idiot trying to sleep in a chair full armor that paid off once and now he's never gonna stop.
Wait, no, this is it paid off like way back when he was working with his group, and now he's never gonna stop. This is not
Once
a
again.
new thing. He's been doing it the whole game.
Yeah, but still.
This is not a convince me to continue. This is a see it works.
yeah. You know, I don't call these actions chaotic.
I do.
The situations resulting from them are.
Correct.
Yeah.
Connor, do you think it's chaotic? Yeah.
I'm in the middle of making a sheet, yes.
You have inconvenienced the DM, the god of this world.
Hey, Connor.
Yes.
Fuck you. No, I love you. Please don't kill Xenia. They're not ready yet.
You rolled a natural one, dude. This shit happens.
That's
I hope,
Oh
I
yeah,
hope
that's
it's
my
like,
fault.
I hope it's like a single snake and not like a full like fucking snake hydra or some shit.
Oh boy.
Shut the fuck up. I didn't think I was gonna roll a natural one. My brain went
never
to
say
both
that.
of those rolls. My brain went to that natural one. Should I use Feign for advantage? Nah, this is just character stuff. Should I use my ring for advantage on the con save to being poisoned? Nah, this is just character stuff.
I feel like once you're getting poisoned, it's no longer just character stuff.
Yeah, it's a little.
Character stuff is having a nice little dance on the glass floor, but when you fall on it with something pointy, you don't take precaution. You don't stop taking precaution.
This is no longer character stuff of dancing on the glass floor. This is if you've thrown an anvil through the glass floor.
Well, yes, but
And I've done that.
if an anvil is being rolled through the thing, you don't like not strap it down because like, oh, there's a dance floor.
No, I had one of the Feign birds just dive bomb me through the glass floor.
Say, Esther, what's your armor class?
13.
Rosalind's,
Oh,
without her
Rosalind's is
half-plate,
11.
is 12.
I'm
Oh,
just
no.
I'm just saying, mage armor would be a good investment if Esther doesn't have it.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
What if Esther's like standing AC?
11.
11? Can I just say Xenia was wearing their armor because they were going in the forest?
Yeah, that'll help.
So you didn't go out in your pajamas to
Well,
complete
that's-
the...
No!
Oh god,
No, I
Rosalind
didn't go out
is.
in my pajamas.
Rosalind's in a night
Everyone
dress.
else?
Rosalind is glowing like a ghost with her hair down.
And all
Yeah.
ironic. Oh,
in
could
rose
we?
print pajamas.
Ashta's
they're
wearing
just
his
plain
armor
white.
with bunny slippers.
Ashta in bunny slippers would be a really funny. I wonder, would Ashta in like the modern AU be like constantly wearing slippers in the house? Who would wear bare feet in the house, and who would wear like socks or slippers?
Actually,
I
we
don't
were
like
like
bare feet.
Okay, one at a time, y'all.
This is recorded.
Xenia,
We need to
bare
kill
feet.
time somehow.
Yeah,
Z-
fair.
So Xenia's bare feet.
Yes, always. They slipped once and they never forgot.
Esther is bare feet, definitely. Pyrrhus likes to wear socks.
Astra
Ashta,
has socks.
Rosalind.
Varies. Certain seasons bare feet, others it's like socks and like not slippers, but the kind with the heel that kind of are like house shoes,
Ooh.
only softer, fuzzy on the
Ah,
inside.
Or
that
like,
kind.
the only Esther can't wear fuzzy socks because she's too warm, and then her feet get too warm.
Oh, I
can't
had that happen to me.
That's based off of life experience.
They had to fully take off like the fuzzy socks I wore into my surgery because they realized I was overheating.
Oh,
I don't know why That's so fucking funny.
I never told that story, but yeah. I think I was too drunk. But it was the thing of, yeah, I was like getting ready and they're like, we really need to take these off. And then I went to bed and woke up, played a Tuesday session and passed out.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ. I don't know why I find
Yeah.
that so fucking funny, but it is.
Okay,
Harkness, yeah.
John's not here, but Caius, I can envision both
Probably
barefoot and in the
barefoot.
bunny slippers. If
Yep.
anybody would
Caius.
wear the joke bunny slippers.
Or like
That's
fuzzy
true.
socks, but like the slipper socks.
Like the reading socks those are the ones that to get taken off of me.
Yeah, with like the little sticky bits on the bottom.
Oh yeah, the no
Oh,
slip
Harkness
things.
Harkness would wear those because once she tried to do that old time rock and roll thing with oil on the floor and socks on and almost got a concussion.
Oh,
Tavish would probably have set her socks on fire.
Really, not us.
That's respectable.
Not Esther. No, Esther would not. Tavish would have blown them up because of some chemical experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, knock your socks off.
This is the intermission. Cause I fucked up and Conrad has to make a sheet.
This is the changing the subject. So
This is.
He only had the art ready. At least you had the art ready. At least.
At
Imagine
least
like
you
the
knew
whole
it
party is
existed.
like landed in the forest, but like the half of it is like just like a grid,
we're feverishly
Mm,
searching.
nothing
right
else,
now.
and like transparent, and they're all just kind of waiting around.
So where is everything?
You know, if I had a watch, I'd be looking at it really condescendingly right now.
There's somebody sitting in the sky on a laptop typing feverishly.
The party's in stasis mode.
We're on the
Hey, at least our
loading
Fane are
screen.
getting reloaded.
There's like you look up to the sky, and there's a little spinning circle that like has a little like light that goes around it.
Yeah.
There's faint
Oh, at least the
music.
gods are awake.
Faint music playing and a little scroll with tips and hints running across the bottom of the screen.
Don't split the
Big
party, or else you're fucked.
Wow, it's almost like that's been said since
Wild
the
giant
beginning of
slayers.
this campaign.
The wild giant slayer snake is known for its poisonous bite and short temper.
Usually, if you have to split the party, you tell them where you're going in advance.
Always use the buddy system.
Yeah, you usually do.
If you have something that recharges on a long rest, if you don't have it, do it right before the long rest because you may need it.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, I love this. This is great.
Yeah.
Dear God, indeed.
This is going to be
Yep.
wonderful.
So did we all at least have a short rest to like have our sheets updated?
Oh,
I'm assuming
Are,
so.
are
Because
the
of
ones who
our
had level
hit
ups like, are we levels up?
Does dinner count as a short rest? We're not doing anything but eating and
You said just
conversing.
assume level up.
Just
Yeah.
assume. Woo!
That was our short rest. Which means that
Too bad.
for the prodigy feat, sometime just before the dinner, at some point, Rosalind and Ashta did smack foreheads, and a very confused Fane fell into her head. Discharged knowledge of celestial and calligrapher's stuff, like a startled octopus letting out ink, and then darted back into Ashta's. That's the explanation we came up with for how Rosalind got certain things for the prodigy feat that I took for her.
Yes. Oh, I have another one, guys. Friendship
It's-
ended.
it- Oh, go ahead.
Friendship ended with party. Now paralyzing snake is my best friend. Oh fuck.
No, but I just imagine like the thing that got knocked over was the previous, and so he's just like he falls in there and he like pulls out a knife. It's like get back, get back.
He pisses himself, but he just pisses knowledge.
Yep. And runs away.
What's the Megamind thing? It's like stop, he's not used to positive reinforcement yet.
Yep.
Yes.
Stay back, you monsters? Something like that.
Savages.
Savages, that's what it was.
Stayed
I just
after
like
Savage
threw a
Wolf
handful of
and died.
info at the nearest other Fane and booked it.
Yep. It hasn't really settled in yet. Rosalind's not aware she can speak Celestial. She was gonna be mumbling in Celestial overnight, I think. So that would have been fun for Esther to wake her up from, but something else happened.
She could be swearing in Celestial now.
I'm sorry, she speaks Celestial now?
Nobody
Oh, yeah,
knows
it's-
this yet.
Oh yeah, also
New feet.
it's Ash's understanding of Celestial, so there is a number of swear words in there.
Oh, yeah.
Five hours of Dragon Chess. I
Ah,
was gonna maybe do some more tonight, but then we got waylaid.
Yeah, fuck you.
oh, man. Oh, actually, in that case, Rosalind would have one spell slot available. Because if she short rested, then she would have gotten the one from earlier back, which means she only used 2 out of her 3.
That's good. And Mr. Kirkhan.
Alright, it's done.
Okay.
Yay!
Yay!
Sorry, I only had the thing ready because I had a cool idea and I put the art down so I didn't forget it. And apparently I needed it.
Sorry.
Frantic DM.
Please hold on, I put token on the sheet for Xenia. You take... What? Hold on, I'm just gonna roll the damage.
Oh no.
Take that much damage. Don't worry about the crit. It's just the base damage.
Dear!
Jesus.
Oh, it's 19. Oh no.
That's still a plus 13 to hit.
Yeah.
3d8 damage, and on a fail, another 2d6.
This thing flat out cannot miss Rosalind or Esther unless it rolls a natural 1.
That's fun. I'll bring it
That's
on.
why Esther's staying the fuck out of its range.
Rosalind too.
I'm gonna have to drag you on a different sheet first just so I can get...
Okay. Hello, Tooth of Ragnar. It's been a while.
Oh no. I
Yeah.
just saw the poison effect.
Hold on.
1 hour.
Oh, there's
Why are there
two.
2 of them?
Do you think they hunt alone?
Oh no.
No.
I mean,
Oh.
I usually do, but
Bloody hell. Right, okay. Where are we
So,
coming in?
Dropped.
beep boop.
Question.
Yeah.
Does anyone know why my roll is like zoomed in or left or something?
What?
You're lagging.
No, 1 sec, I reconnect.
Does anybody know
Test,
why
test.
roll 20 is zoomed in?
Like left shifted, yeah.
Left shifted? What do you mean?
Like every 2 to the left.
Don't say that again.
Test, test.
Yeah.
Like my sidebar isn't total on the screen.
Go to your Chrome and just click the thing on Zoom to recenter it.
No, but the rest of my Chrome is fine and it's not zoomed. It's to the left at all. Okay, I'm gonna have to refresh. But go ahead and roll initiative.
Alright.
I'm gonna
Where are
roll
we coming
just
in from?
case.
Where are our tokens?
I kind of assume towards the bottom, personally.
Yeah, me too. Everywhere,
Drop them
wherever
in
you.
wherever you
so
decide.
desire.
Alright,
Close
sure,
enough.
bottom.
Oh, you guys
Also-
are getting airdropped.
Alright. Also, okay,
right,
then
we are.
assume the Radiant Soul came out already.
In that case, yeah, if she saw, I was gonna have her cast Investiture of Vines as we came in, if possible. If not, I'll wait.
Kevin, please come closer.
Okay.
What?
You have less restoration, don't you?
I also have a land speed of fucking bonkers,
Oh yes,
so
yeah. So
Quote, I have a land speed of fucking bonkers.
So,
Oh, investor vines.
yep, as we drop in, you see Rosalind cast something she's never cast before, and she's got vines and bark and probably some small roses just twining all around her, all over her night dress.
Here we
And
go.
they kind of curl out around her as she hits the ground.
You
So,
mean to tell me you wanted to kill a snake?
I wasn't looking for this particular snake. We can talk about it in character later if you want. Right now, we need to kill 2 snakes.
Oh, not having it.
Who, you, me? Not having this. This is great. Why are you so close? Why are you so close? This is metagaming. Why are you so close?
Yeah, the party dropped
I'm
down
just
here.
Yes.
Again, Ash has the land speed of bonkers. You're
Yeah,
Esther. They
but
can't
Esther's
miss you.
You have 11.
They cannot miss you.
I think a crit can just fucking kill you.
I don't know about that far, but they cannot physically miss you. Unless
Esther,
they roll
how
a
much-
1.
How much HP do you have, Esther?
Oh, it's not that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, well, now we know it's reach, I guess.
How much
Uh,
HP do you have, Esther?
Not important. What's important?
Esther, I need to do the math.
No, I know. One hit would fucking kill her.
A
Why I'm
crit.
saying it.
It was 46 damage on a crit.
Yeah, so one hit would fucking kill her.
Oh, feel free to metagame till Conrad starts initiative. Help. Remember, reach 15.
Reach 15.
Yes. It has a reach of 15 feet.
Why are y'all worried about me getting up close, brother?
Because you put your token over here.
And if it slithers, it probably has like at least 40 feet of movement.
Okay, that is.
My brain went 60. So it can, like, get its ass to someone, and there's 2 of them.
and we are down a Caius.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wait,
We
where's
don't have
Issa?
a
Don't we have Issa?
Oh,
there's
we
only-
do have
Yes,
Issa.
Issa has to... Did she come up with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
Oh,
We have
fuck.
Issa.
Oh, I'm almost mad there's not more of them.
Oh no!
Oh, no!
Oh no!
Do we want to?
Can we just use Yemma? Can we just use Yemma?
I think I'm just gonna use Yemma.
I was gonna say it's
Can we
either
just
that
use
or
Yemma as a cop-out?
like pause the session and re-continue because Jesus.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have time to fix that one too.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Do Yemma. Just do
Yeah,
Yemma.
just use
instead.
Yemma. It's one paladin, one's a paladin sorcerer.
Yemma is technically more powerful, but that's fine.
Have Yemma and just don't cast any spells.
Hey, if it's a problem,
Issa has more spells.
Xenia is inoperable right now. So
Yeah.
I don't
True.
think a more powerful paladin is gonna throw us off too
Mhm.
much.
True.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this in advance, by the way. These snakes are no joke. Just saying.
Yeah.
Please give us
Gotcha.
Yemma.
I'm giving you Yemma.
please
Don't worry.
drop Yemma.
Maybe
Like
Caius too.
when you say no joke,
Yeah.
do you mean are we even gonna be able?
Oh, you'll be able to beat them as long as you play well.
Just get me up.
That being said, where would you guys like Yemma to drop?
Near the
Probably just like
front?
beside us. Yeah, around here maybe. Around here.
yeah.
Would
Near
you like me to drop her closer because she has very little range?
Yes.
Well, also just for aura, but yeah,
Yeah, or near the 2 for the
maybe
aura.
around here.
Yeah, we need her to potentially be able to get up to,
I mean, I can also drop her like right here if you want.
Well, let's see how. Maybe like no more than here, unless Rosalind wants to move up a bit more.
Rosalind can move up a bit. If you really
The aura's
insist.
only
Basically,
10
no. Basically,
feet
so
above.
Rosalind, so Rosalind can get within the aura of
Yeah. Yemma's aura is
at
not
least-
that big.
Yemma.
I know, but just
I'll still move up
until Yemma starts running.
Fine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that works.
Yemma's gonna start running soon. Right after you.
Ooh, Yemma got good initiative.
But yeah, now we've just got 2 snakes. Oh dear.
I'll give them the same initiative. Alright, so we have Ashta, Yemma, Serpent, Esther, Rosalind. See, that's everyone, right?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
This is gonna be fun.
So, real quick question, Conrad.
Sure.
Since it's my turn, am I gonna have to make a roll every time for this ability?
Yeah.
All right.
Unless you're within range of Yemma.
All right.
Range being
I-
10 feet?
Yeah, or a range.
All right. I'll send you a message later, but okay.
I feel like I can call the principal's office.
Eh,
Pretty much. You did just kind of hamstring a very, fun and interesting subclass ability for him.
There are ways around it.
Hey, curiosity.
Yeah, not
Yep.
using it.
Other people don't have that issue. Anyways, we are
Poison
going
and acid
to.
are different, right?
Sir?
Poison and acid different, yeah?
Oh, by the way, so as you guys approach these snakes, for actually there at the beginning, so as you guys drop down, the firebirds start flying off and basically tell you like they don't fuck with these snakes.
Oh, can I do one more prep before this?
Sure,
Ash is downing his antitoxin.
sounds good.
And
The birds fly off, basically say like they generally don't fuck with these snakes. And you drop down and you see Xenia like swallowed up to the hip by that one
Oh,
snake.
Oh!
fuck's sake.
Okay.
So yeah, Ashton, go ahead.
All right. Things to do. Yep, so he's currently got his move. He can.
The music started playing, right?
Yeah, but I don't hear anything now. Oh, that's because it's at the end of the... No.
Yeah, I don't really hear much either.
I don't hear
Okay.
anything, and it
It's not- yeah.
seems to be 101 out of 1 minute.
Alright,
Oh, I
that case
hear
keep
it.
playing. I'll try to fix the audio in the meantime.
Don't worry about it.
It's not exactly battle music.
All right. Bonus action dash, 80
All right.
feet up to
I
here.
hear it.
There we go.
Alright,
Action,
alright.
restoration.
You are no longer poisoned. And actually, sorry. You are no longer paralyzed.
Yep.
Awesome. No, the condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
No, I'm
Yeah,
no
but that's
longer
all.
paralyzed.
There was no poison condition. It's you're
Oh.
paralyzed if you fail.
Yeah.
Um,
And Ashton, as you get close to these snakes, kind of similar to the firebirds, you see they have these like spherical eyes.
can you get a quick feigner X ping?
Sure. As far as you can tell, no Fane or X related to them.
All right. It's just the weird biology of this place.
Alright, anything else?
That was it. Yeah. Essence is in his hand, and that's about it.
Alright. Next up is Yema, who is bolting. And from there has something useful called Moonbeam, which they summon on the snake.
All right.
Because this is a spell that Issa would have as well. To right there. And the snake is going to roll damage, or con save. Alright, they make the save, so they're going to take 6 damage. Because the beginning of the turn is now. And I'm going to put Issa back here, because that took an action to cast. Alright. So, next up are the serpents. Just gonna quick intelligence check. Alright. So, Xenia.
Yep.
As the serpent, like, you basically are still in its mouth. That has yet to change. You see its eyes bear down on you. Did you make a wisdom saving throw?
Oh my lord. 25.
Alright,
Oh my
so,
God.
no effect.
Yep.
And-
perfect.
You're in its mouth, so I can't do that attack. So, and it's going to attempt to constrict you. So roll a grapple check of your choice.
Oh,
Either-
strength.
Athletics? Alright.
Yeah, athletics. Oh no!
Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
Yeah. Alright, so you are constricted.
Oh no! I think that
Sorry,
damage you right.
You are restrained, you take that damage at the beginning of your turn.
Alrighty.
The snake at the top of its turn would have taken more moonbeam damage, by the way.
That is correct, thank you. And there we go.
Con save 17.
Ooh,
Moonbeam 24.
please hold while I check what Yema's DC is. It's 16, unfortunately.
Okay, so 12 radiant.
Yes. And the snake is not pleased by this, as it was having a lovely snack. Yeah, it's going to remain there for its turn with Xenia in its mouth.
Yep.
The other one seems to be kind of just watching everything go on. And next up is Esther.
Okay. Hardy. Jeez, a bit quick.
What are you doing, Esther?
Just so that there's
Alright.
Spell.
I assume to keep the two that are safe.
yeah.
Alright.
Sorry, it's loading.
Oh,
All right.
Here.
Okay, it's the dexterity saving throw. It is dexterous, unfortunately.
Oh.
But it is going to still take 13 acid damage. Seemingly no resistance to it. Alright, anything else? Or will that be all?
Just gonna move up so they're within Yema's kind of. So.
Sure.
And
Alright.
that's about it.
Next up is Rosalind.
Alright. For the record, I put the aura on her for the 10-foot difficult terrain of overgrown plant life.
Do you want to make that visible to other players?
Oh,
I think I have to do that.
yeah. That's something
I've-
I cannot access.
Sure.
Yeah. I do not have a second thing for the, I don't have a second tab for
Oh.
making things visible or permissions or whatever. Regardless, she's not gonna do anything with that, probably. Actually she might, hold on. Depends on how close she can get to something. She's not going to be able to get close enough this turn for something with a 30-foot range, so... Alright, that's out, that's out. Yeah, screw it. She's gonna kind of swing around... She doesn't want to get closer to that one. She's gonna swing around here. Sorry, Emma. But the 10-foot radius thing is gonna make things a little tricky. She'll stop right outside of them.
Okay.
Assuming... Oh no, she has to actually... She's gotta actually move up. Actually, if she moves there, then she might be able to move back.
Emma's not getting directly beside it anyway. Stern, you're fine.
Okay. Anyway, 60 feet as her action. She's going to go ahead and use the thing from Investiture. 15-foot cube of thorny vine centered on a point. I can see within 60 feet each creature in that area, just the snake. Make a strength saving throw. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Right.
3d8 piercing damage on a fail or half on a success. It is not large or smaller, so it won't be restrained.
Alright.
Oh, it fails that strength save, but it
Oh,
only
alright.
takes 11 piercing damage.
Okay.
That was her action using the spell she'd already cast, so as her bonus action, she's gonna do her 3 Eldritch Blasts.
Yeah, fair enough. Go ahead.
So, let's do this. 19 to hit.
Yep.
15 force. Nope, 11 isn't gonna hit, is it?
Nope.
13.
Nope.
Nope. Oh, bugger. Okay. Well, nothing more to be done with that. That is Rosalind's turn.
Alright. Xenia. As spoken from the serpent's mouth. Go ahead.
Yep, fuck, I'm checking something.
Got like vampire touch or something.
It'd be a disadvantage. I'm thinking of doing... I can still cast a spell, right?
Oh, right, you're strained.
You can still cast a spell.
Yep, Zine's just gonna just try and break out and just go, let me go! Let's see, let's do level 5. Boop.
Nice.
Alright! That's a fun one.
Fuck.
That's exactly the one I was gonna go for.
Alright!
Oh!
Get fucked, bitch.
So yeah, you basically press your palm against the inside of the serpent's mouth. You can actually see the venom dripping off its fangs. And you just basically press your palm against it, send the energy through, and you feel the top of its mouth soften enough you can actually sink your fingers into it and deepen the energy. That hurt.
I don't like you.
No shit.
Alright. Will that be all for your turn?
Yep!
Alright. Asha.
Asher like breathes in and like exhales like some ethereal smoke out of his mouth.
Okay. You are hasted.
So he's going to bonus action Planar Warrior.
Alright.
He's gonna go ahead and use the 1d4 flare bolts.
Okay.
Although it all gets converted to force anyways. So he's gonna go ahead and this thing's acted, so he doesn't get anything on that. Don't be afraid to hit me with some fire there, Esther. Normal 24 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hit. Roll the extra d4. Alright. What about 28 damage? Not bad.
Isn't it plus your levels too with that too?
It's already on.
Yep, it autos the plus. Oh no, that's.
Nope.
Yeah, let me edit that because I think that was
Oh,
an
wait.
older level.
No, it's on the, Oh, you're level
Isn't it
14 now?
plus...
Yeah, it's plus 13 right now.
He's
Lovely.
he's level 12. I'm trying to remember what the other damage is from the. Plus, is it the +2 from range?
Oh,
Oh,
from
that's only to attack.
No, it's the +2 from the heavy crossbow.
Oh, for being essence. Yes.
Yep.
Alright.
Oh,
So it's
In
29
fact,
damage.
that should be one more to hit.
Yeah, it still hits.
Yeah, let me just update this real quick. I don't think I've done it in a while. So it'd be 12 plus 2, should be 14.
So 29 damage total.
Yep.
Alright. Will that be all for your turn?
He's hasted. He has bonus action. That. He's gonna move just a bit over to here.
Alright. Next is the unnamed paladin. Who's going to use 10 feet to move that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 'Cause that's how math works. And is going to... Huh.
Real quick. Let's stay down one. Sure. Stay within range, Xenia.
This is one time that very useful. Didn't think of that, but no, actually, it doesn't matter. Yeah, he's going to take a jack, just throw it into the side of the neck of the serpent. 17 will miss, unfortunately.
Okay, good to know.
second one. 21. That will definitely hit. Do a total of 4 damage, fortunately. Every little bit helps. And next up is the serpents, who first take some moonbeam damage. Not bad on the damage.
Get fucked.
It's coming, right? Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah. Only half, unfortunately. Still good damage. This serpent is not happy. Alright. And from the serpent's turn. Did you take your damage?
Yeah, it's the 31.
Okay. Ashton, it's going to turn its eye upon you instead.
Alright.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Just a normal. 22.
Alright, good. From there,
He's basically coin flipping to make this, but
unfortunately, it can't really bite anyone if it has someone in its mouth.
gets spit. Yep.
It's not going to.
Alright.
Yeah, it's gonna attempt to basically force you further down its throat, Xenia.
Oh, fun.
So it's gonna basically rear its head back and then slam it into the ground to, like, force you further down. So, how would you like to attempt to resist that?
Hands on the ground, trying to use the fucking, what's it called, the belt as much as possible, pushing myself sort of more out and sideways as it's, like, slamming down.
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength saving throw, DC 20.
I'm going to use advantage with my ring of protection.
Okay.
Okay, let's try this out. Let's see if this works. I clicked it, I think.
19 does not pass, unfortunately.
Can I use inspiration?
Sure.
Can I add the die, or is it like a rolling?
No,
again?
it's just an extra advantage.
Okay, let's try that one more time.
Just roll above an 11.
Yeah. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. 12 or higher, 12 or higher.
Yeah.
25!
All right. So as you see it rear its head back, immediately you just get this blink that you know what's about to happen. And as its head pushes down to the ground, you basically brace one arm and one elbow so that the force forces you sideways, and you just pull yourself out of the side of its mouth.
Oh, thank fuck.
You are no longer restrained.
Just
But you are prone.
Yep.
That's it for that serpent's turn. This one is going to begin slithering forward.
uh-oh.
And Ashta, what language do you speak?
Oh, fucking hell. Common, Celestial, Sylvan, Primordial.
Alright, it says you in Primordial. Basically, don't interfere with my brother's meal. And it's going to turn its evil eye upon you.
Oh, great.
Alrighty. Done.
Alright, you are stunned.
Alright.
Fucking shit.
Now, remind me, does it make you incapacitated?
Stun.
No, it doesn't, because you don't get that kind of advantage. Oh, wait, it is.
A
Yep.
stunned creature is incapacitated.
Okay. Therefore, haste is also gone.
Great.
Drat. Oh, no.
Alright, Esther.
Eat.
Alright. I presume you are keeping the currently
Yes.
smashed out of that. Okay.
Yes.
Alright, it's gonna get a next save. Beats it.
Oh,
whore.
boy.
But it takes the damage, and it is. Yeah, that snake is deeply injured.
Make a crispy fucking boy. What's the thing around Rosalind right now?
That is a lot of plant growth.
Oh, you didn't hit Asha with a fireball?
You can't succeed the saving throw that would have been damage.
No.
So
No.
he
I-
drops the
choice.
evil. He drops the evil eye, and he gets advantage on attacks if he takes fire damage.
Remember, evil eye lasts until he takes damage.
It's up to you, but he gets 2 positives
Yeah.
and he has health.
Okay, Ashta, you're hit then.
Neat.
So
I
do you
can fix it so he takes less damage.
Alright, so does he take 36 or what?
Uh,
It's gonna move out of the plant growth, and that's
It's
up
up
to
to
whatever
him.
Xenia.
It's up to Ashta. It's his choice.
His choice for what?
No, wait. Would it be Esther's choice for sculpt spell?
That's what I'm saying. If Ashta
she
wants
sculpted spell so that he got hit.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
okay.
no, I want him to get hit.
Yeah,
Okay.
No,
Sorry,
no,
I
no.
misheard that. Sorry.
no worries.
If,
so
if you take
Xenia
damage,
is
the stun drops.
for Xenia's sake now.
Also, I'm going to remind you, Esther, that do you reroll ones on damage dice for fire damage?
I think it
Uh,
doesn't it just
yeah.
go up to 2? Wait, what feat is it?
It's the elemental adept. Does it just go up to 2, or is that just Richter?
Give me a sec.
For what?
Elemental adept.
Nat
Yeah,
20s.
that bumps up to 2.
Bumps it up to 2? Okay, so it's actually 38 damage in that case.
Alright.
How's this thing looking, brother?
It's crispy. Nearly.
Mm.
Alright, if that's all, Rosalind.
Alright, Rosalind rushes by Esther with all these vines and roots doing this weird dance across the forest floor. Just traveling with her. Gets up there, and within 30 feet of the snake, she is going to cast her own blight.
Alright. Damn.
Can it die?
It beats. However, doesn't matter. How do you want to do this?
Good. As she gets up in front of that rock, she throws out her hand, shouts some word, and you just see the snake suddenly writhe and wither like a twisting vine.
Alright. And as it does so, you see like the moisture just drain and fall to the ground as this last drop of venom slips off its fang. Alright, that serpent is dead.
Okay. Bonus action. Can't do anything cantrippy. Already cast a spell. So I think... Yeah, I'm not going to use that. I think that'll be it.
Alright. Xenia.
He's gonna get up.
Yeah.
Half of their movement, so 15. And let me just perfect. Stand 5, 10, 15. Look at the other serpent. Just point a finger and just go. Dinner's over. Challenge validity.
Okay. So next attack they take damage for, they are vulnerable. Alright.
Just looks at Asha. Just a smile.
Yep.
And then just takes their sword out with it. Just takes their sword out with it as a bonus action. Go.
Alright, Ashton.
Can't do anything.
Wait,
You
what?
got you took damage.
Because haste is gone though, so he's paralyzed for this turn.
He's not paralyzed.
Oh,
Oh, sorry,
But
he's
he's-
incapacitated.
fuck.
No, it's just the target can't move or take actions until its next turn.
Gotcha.
Fuck.
Okay.
I fucked that up. Fun.
Oh, it's okay, it's okay.
Yeah, that's alright. The effect is still there, and most likely next to damage is Esther.
Yep.
So, yeah, don't worry, you're not doing bad there.
Yeah. I was just. Ooh. Okay. Let's do it.
Esther knows the fireworks
Um,
now.
Paladin is going to go up to Xenia and give a quick lay on hands for 20 HP.
Thank you.
Alright. Next up is the Serpent. Who is going to rush up to the multiple targets. First, throwing a evil eye onto the Paladin, actually. Okay, I'm just going to use the ammo stuff for now. Keep in mind this is already the +2, or plus whatever,
Nice.
so that's good. It's then going to get up to there, and make a Serpent's Strike on Xenia. Is it 16
That
hit?
is a miss.
Alright! Esther. This creature currently takes double damage from whatever the next attack is.
Take it out.
The fire worked really well.
Correct. Alright. And that's going to be 33. The dex save. It succeeds. So it's going to remain at 33 damage, which is not insignificant on this thing. They're hardy, but they're not invulnerable, that's for sure. Alright. Lapiel.
Just so she's behind cover.
Alright. Make sure you're counting your movement there. Rosalind.
Rosalind will stay exactly where she is and do the thorny patch right on the snake. So that's another 3d8 and a strength saving throw on its part. I'm sure it'll be
Sure.
fine, but
Yeah.
it still takes half damage, so... Oh man.
Oh, not
Oh,
bad
wow.
at all.
DC is 17.
Alright.
Sure, it's fine.
Yeah, it's rolled 25.
Okay. So, half that is 10 points of damage. And bonus action, 3 Eldritch Blasts, the usual. So, 1,
Yep.
15,
Uh,
10,
yeah.
and 13.
Yeah. Total of 33 damage. Or 38 damage, sorry. Sorry.
Also gives Rosalind a little thumbs up from behind the tree.
Yes, that's 48 damage in one turn. Not bad at all, Rosalind.
Oh, this is so much better than usual for her. This is good. Okay. She likes her
Xenia.
investiture.
Stepping into melee.
Okay.
First off, bonus action at 6th level. I don't know if it lets me cast at higher levels. It doesn't, but that was a natural one anyway.
Yeah. Roll a luck roll on that.
Woohoo! This is gonna be fun. That's a d20. That's a 10!
Okay, just it misses and slams into the ground. What is your spiritual weapon again?
It's just a really big fuck off hammer.
Cool. Make sure you mark it on the sheet on the map.
Yep. Oh, yes. Da-da-da. Let's see. How bad is my sheet lagging? It's chugging.
Oh
I'm-
man, this sword and that spiritual weapon is a fantastic combo.
And then with 2 hands, we're
Yeah.
gonna strike. We're gonna strike down.
All right, the mediator definitely hits. Oh man, you get an impressed look from Yema behind you
Fucking hell.
as you slash into like the snout of this thing. Yeah, I was not expecting that. All right, is that all?
Bonus action, movement. Yeah, we're good.
All right, Ashta.
First attack with advantage, Planar Warrior.
Okay.
And you know what? Screw it. He'll get up to there.
Oh man,
Hello.
There we go.
Oh, that damage though, no!
still using that those flare bolts?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. You fix the damage of that or no?
That was a 1 in a
Yep.
20.
Wow. Alright, so 6, 23, 24, 29. The first attack?
So that's an extra attack on top of that.
That is correct.
Isn't that a luck roll too? Just for craziness?
Oh yeah.
All right. Because if it is, he'll go for the eye if he can. Nope.
Yep. It just goes up its nose. Extra attack, go for it.
A normal plus 12.
Plus 12?
Yeah, I don't have the radiant on that right now.
Oh, right. Well, Planar Radiant is only once per turn as well as Planar Warrior, right?
Yep, you're right. Never mind.
Alright, and Flare Bolt.
Yep. Firebolt.
Also make sure you put the plus 2 on that after this. So, total of 19 damage. Alright. First attack, go for it. Yeah, that definitely hits. Just gonna use the first attack damage there.
Oh,
And-
didn't mean to click that one. Yep.
Okay, and extra one before, let's go. Alright. Total of 11 damage.
The 1d10. No, it does have dex. Never mind. But it doesn't have the plus 2, so add a plus 2 to the top.
Yep, that's why it's 11.
Yep.
Alright. Not bad at all. That was 11. That was a lot of damage. I can't do the math right now, but that was a lot. Alright. End of
Bonus
turn.
action. Oh,
Bonus
that'll
action,
be
go
his.
for it.
No, he used it with Planar Warrior.
Gotcha, alright.
Yep,
With
that's his turn.
that, Issa is gonna come forward with a, completely, like, no tricks about it, just huge overhand wing going to slam onto the serpent. It's gonna drop a. Using the sheep, I know what the actual thing is. It's gonna drop a 50 on that.
Refresh the page real quick. 'cause it's being stupid.
Ho!
Cool!
Ho!
Wait, what?
Whoa!
Christ.
Whoa!
Holy shit.
Right time to refresh.
Yeah, so you rolled 5d8 for the smite, and rolled 8, 8, 7, 8, 8.
Okay
I
then.
can see that. Jesus Christ.
Spell?
Huh?
How do you want Yema to do this?
Cut off its head.
Sorry,
Cut off its head. Cut off its head.
Yeah, it goes to make its bite out towards, Xenia, its teeth slam into the ground. The arrows come back, and as it goes to swing forward with another bite. Issa just comes forward and, with a baseball swing, just right across the neck. And you don't just see the head fall off. Instead, you see a shadow on the ground from the moonlight. That head falls off, and the head actually remains attached. And the serpent drops to the down, dead. And you see the blood start to come out from its mouth. The serpent is no more.
Esther's gonna run forward.
Rosalind is right behind her. Just.
Xenia, are you okay?
There's
I'm fine.
vines around everybody. Good luck moving.
No,
Oh,
don't say you're fine. That's such bullshit.
More importantly, what were you doing?
What the fuck
looking for a
happened?
snake.
No shit.
Found two.
Why?
Wanted to kill them
Why?
because she couldn't.
The Raven Queen?
No, Esther.
Who's she?
My mother.
Oh.
You've been checking your Fang?
Yeah.
Or maybe the Raven Queen?
I saw how she died. She died alone from a snake bite.
Was it from something as big as this, or?
No. No. I just got either too lucky or very unlucky looking for something. But she couldn't defeat them on her own, and I thought I could.
She might have been alone, Xenia, but you're not.
You don't have to be.
We don't want you to be.
And you were certainly not fine if this was what you were doing. Giant snakes are.
I was gonna say, Conrad, I think that's the wrong map.
Hey, transport to the plane of ice.
You
Yo!
have to drag it and roll 20 scrap.
I know.
Oh, is that where Mama is?
What?
On the map.
Ash's mom.
Nope. Scroll
And-
down.
Nope,
Plains
it's
of
the
Wrath.
other one. I just happened to see it. Sorry, continue.
I wanted to do it alone. But I just wanted to
Right.
look for I wanted to look for a measly snake that looked like the one that killed her. So I could just think I was stronger than her.
This
You are
is.
stronger than her. A lot stronger than she was.
You don't need to kill a snake to know that.
I never met her. I don't know what she's like.
You've been looking up things about her.
Just that. When you asked me to. And I couldn't stop thinking.
I get it, Anya.
And she kind of like puts his boot on the snake and just like, well, we've got a source of poison if we ever need it.
Speaking of that, um, Rosalind,
Yes?
your dream thing worked.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Um, they've seen stuff. My clan's been fighting their forces for days now.
Alright.
Uh,
That's good. Well, maybe not good, but good to know.
just allow me to explain, though. My mother, you know how they said Sagittarius had a different mount?
Yes?
So, my mother killed the rider of that mount.
Alright,
It's
given the
not,
fact that you specified
no,
the
it's
rider.
not
She what now?
Sagittarius.
It wasn't Sagittarius, of course.
My mother, the nightmare that Sagittarius rides, there was a being on top of it. My mother ripped the being off of its mount and killed it.
Where'd the
And
nightmare go?
I don't know.
Did you ask?
It escaped my train of thought. Regardless, Sagittarius is not dead.
I
But
figured as much.
there are other creatures riding his specific mount.
Well, we don't know that. We know that there are nightmares around now.
We could
There's
ask
multiple
it.
sightings, that's it.
We could ask the imposter.
The
What
body
now?
is still in my tribe. It was paraded for a few days, and now it's being preserved.
Well, I can ask it.
Actually, it looks like. Can you explain more than that?
I
Oh, you can raise it, can't you?
I can raise it, which I'm not
You'll
going
do
to
no
do
such
because that's
thing.
expensive. But I can
Oh,
talk
sorry,
to
the
it.
rider was killed this morning. Sorry.
I can talk to it when dead.
No zombies.
No zombies. Goes back to sleep after that. I don't like
Also,
zombies.
she said, divide and conquer is the best strategy. These things know how to fight as a group. But
You're already
by being
planning
able to
on.
spread them out, let me finish. Their rides, their mounts, aren't the best to traverse in the sand. They've been getting stuck. And they move slow. They can still fight, but they move slow. They fight with ranged weapons. They're competent to my mother, which means they will be good to us, in a sense. When I say she's no short of a good fighter, that's a very
What
big
is she
word.
like? Is she like Archdude and Glimmer level or what?
No. No, but she's strong, and she's experienced. So,
No offense to her, so are we.
and I'm not saying that,
We've got.
but if she says that they're competent,
Then they're
then I'm
competent.
telling you, they're competent in fighting at close combat.
There's a.
Trust me when I
There's a swath of experience that can happen. But so far, our main issue still remains that Sagittarius is on a mount that can fly. Sand doesn't do anything with that.
also,
We knew we already dealt with long range.
there are spies currently doing reconnaissance. My mother will know more by tomorrow. She will have more information. She's going to attempt to speak to the council, but who knows how far she'll get. More importantly, I have a contact that I didn't realize is currently with the Goblinoid army. she's most likely speaking to them tomorrow. I need to be there.
Well, I believe first we should get some rest.
Yeah, I thought it was important for you all to know this.
It is. Thank you. But we're going to pursue this in the morning, and, Xenia,
Yes.
do you need to find another snake tonight?
No more snakes tonight.
Alright. Next time you'd like to go out snake hunting, if you don't want to bring somebody along, at least tell us and let us be within, short distance, please.
And remember that this place used to belong to giants.
Alright.
Gonna give Xenia a quick hug.
I still
Thank
give her
you.
one too. Them one too.
My apologies. You all need sleep.
It's okay. You are far more important than sleep.
Definitely. Just please don't scare us that way again.
And stop trying to one-up me. Come on. Being the one who died is kind of my thing. We don't need another one.
Please.
None of that.
He's just like walking behind us and like smacks her in the back of the head.
Ow!
Oh.
I'm not a fan of death. I'd rather prevent it.
I almost don't want to go back down, but I feel like it's about the same distance no matter what. So, let's see if some of the birds can bring us back.
You call out to them, and they're nearby. Not close by, but nearby. They come to you and they look at the snakes, and as soon as they settle down, they look up to all of you guys and be like, "We can eat."
If this is what you eat, probably, though I believe we wanted to harvest some poison sacks or something. I don't know. Not
I'd
tonight.
rather
Maybe just one of them?
I'd rather study from both of them.
Keep
See if any
the-
The one, what's the name? What's the name? Sorry.
Your birds, dude.
Askia?
No,
don't know
one of
his
those from
name.
earlier. Alarion,
Asshole?
Okay.
who had come by after being told you guys had come down, essentially, gestures with its beak towards the, blighted one. It looks to you and it says, "Looks like jerky?
Probably
Bad jerky.
no.
Tastes like jerky."
I don't think so. Don't eat that one.
Snake jerky.
That
Can
one
the-
was, that one was poisoned with death itself, so to speak. Don't eat it.
Have you
Can
never had...
the cooking death cleric tell with certainty whether that's okay to eat or not?
Number one, I'm a grave cleric, so shut the fuck up. Number two is it's
Damn, coming out hot.
The salt, Jesus.
is it safe to eat?
Go ahead and roll a cooking check.
Also, if you want to get specific, you're the Raven Queen.
I'm gonna guidance myself for this as well. 22 plus 1d4, 26.
Yeah, as long as you get around the poison and keep away from, like, the head, which had, like, both your blight and Rosalind's blight on it.
Yeah, I grabbed that bitch by the teeth.
Yeah.
So just cut off the
Away
head.
from that area, the further you get, the more likely you are to be okay. It
So
should
cut
be
in
fine.
half. They can.
Yeah,
Stick to the tail.
if you do get poisoned, it's... You don't know what the poison will do, but you don't think it'll be strong enough to have the full effect.
Have
And also,
you,
you gotta keep a few healers around, like, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
have you never had snake meat?
Have you ever had blighted snake meat?
That I have not.
Hmm.
You see Issa poking the snake that she killed and be like, "My sword went through this, right?"
Saw it go through something, but
fairly
not
sure.
I
that.
saw it die.
See, actually.
Yeah.
Roll a spellcasting check with a proficiency.
Can I
This is
guidance
also gonna
myself
say-
a no?
Yeah, you decapitated his shadow.
Can I guidance myself a no?
Yeah, you can add guns to that.
I'm gonna guidance myself. Let's just do a perception check. Oh, she's hot. Oh,
Oh, alright. Alright, so you would know of a still cleric scholarly idea of the soul, and one aspect of it is its shadow. The shadow being what grounds it. If someone is revived, it's said that their shadow is what is used to bring them back. So
Oh,
if she
so she-
severed the shadow, it's possible she
killed that thing.
killed it beyond revival.
Yeah, she killed that thing.
Yeah.
Izzy's just gonna look at it and just go, I've never seen someone kill something that won't be able to be revived again.
She's gonna look at you and be like, "Well, I mean, I tried to cut that off. That's how that works, right?
You did.
You decapitated its shadow, though.
But it's
The shadow is what's used to bring them back.
You can kill more people than just cutting. You can kill things more ways than just physically.
You
I always thought that
killed
was a
that
metaphor. Well, note to self: don't get into any barroom scuffles with my sword,
thing. Why would you use a magical sword in a barroom scuffle?
because I'm assumedly drunk in this barroom scuffle.
Xenia just
That's
goes for a high
fair.
five.
Was that the sword you brought to the tower?
It was, yeah. And then I went back later because we started getting another infestation, and then it was just more of the main locks. It was just, I think, a couple leftovers. And when it got their blood on it, it seemed to attune to it.
Well, it was either whatever happened to you had some side effects on the things with you, or whatever weird magic's there.
It's possible. All I know is I can stab things really well now.
Yeah, just, be careful with that thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna use it to shave, don't worry.
No, I'm saying even if it's some random bandits, if you want to. Just understand that if ever there's some sort of elf that is violent and needs dealing with, you could effectively cease its rebirth through existence forever. If I'm understanding this right.
Xenia? Ooh.
Oh, religion check, Xenia. And Ashta.
Can I use
Ashta, go ahead with advantage.
I keep sounding like Alsana. Can I use guidance?
Assume you can use guidance as long as it's not like a, something you don't have
Sudden.
time to think about.
Okay. Xenia's
19.
gonna do advantage for Fane and guidance.
Alright.
Ooh, I needed that. Guidance. Ugh.
Alright. Xenia, it sort of makes sense. Ashta, that's reasonable to assume. You feel like there might be a caveat. You're not sure what it is.
What's a caveat?
Something that might contradict it. Like
An
A
exception?
loophole.
A loophole or exception, yeah.
To what? Sorry.
yeah, they didn't even stop at birth.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Guys, you just don't
Conrad,
have minutes.
Yeah, Conrad, you're bad.
Yeah.
Glitched, I'm
I feel-
sorry.
It's the thing of like, with elves, they are reborn. So there could be a caveat if the shadow is killed to maybe circumvent the non-rebirth and be able to get reborn again.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. Well, also Conrad, did Xenia ever find out if elves get killed if they come back?
Just in general?
Yeah, because there's the transcendence thing, which is like this is a key that you will come back. Like this is how you are told you will come back.
There are theories around it. You have put no time into the research as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, they haven't. That's why I'm just wondering because I
Yeah,
think I did.
that is
check
something
on it
you
a
could
while
research.
ago. Okay.
But I think with that, if you guys like to harvest poison sacks,
Yes, please.
go ahead and make
I
a
should just
survival.
give advantage.
Yeah, go ahead and make a survival check for the soul capitated one.
Okay. Survival advantage?
Yep, plus guidance if you like.
Yes, please. 1, 2.
13 plus 2,
20.
20.
Xenia, I'm going to recommend you go to the settings on your sheet and put always roll with advantage.
For
Always roll 2 dice.
for
don't have to.
survival?
For
Oh, just
all
in-
the things.
Can do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you make so that it always rolls 2 dice.
Oh, that's cool.
And that way you can just look at those dice if it's advantage or disadvantage and take either the higher or the lower. If it's normal, you just take the first.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, so you do a pretty good job harvesting. It doesn't take too much time. You're not sure if it'd be easier or more difficult to go to the withered one and harvest it.
It's also
although-
late.
Yeah, and Issa offers to carry it back with you.
Yeah, let's
Um,
just bring it back.
How much time did it take?
Maybe 20 minutes. Not too bad.
Okay. I'm
Um,
debating how tired Rosalind is at this point.
Go ahead and add 2 primal serpent poison sacks.
Primal Serpent ink sacs?
Poison sacks.
Poison. I said ink. I've been playing too much Minecraft.
Wrong game.
Alright.
Wrong game. Wrong game. I'm gonna add that to party loot.
Alright. But you guys can head back to the longhouse with other serpent in tow. As Issa is buff and carry it, and so is Xenia. And I think right there we'll end the session.
Real
Now,
quick.
Scott. Sure.
Oh, I wanted to ask if I could do a strength check to carry Rosalind.
Briefly? Sure, go for it. And also, Sky, don't immediately leave your sheet after the session, okay?
I'm not. Don't.
Okay. Yeah. As Esther like tries to do like the bridal style carry Rosalind.
There's a
She
no,
kinda
no,
just,
no,
like-
no, no!
Yep, and she kind of just like tries to wrestle you for a second, and it just doesn't
On the
work.
floor,
Can
on
I
the
actually
ground.
like stop
Oh,
Yep.
I'm sorry.
catch this at all?
What the hell?
Conrad?
Yeah, it's stopped before too much happens, but yeah.
Well, just take the ground.
Sorry, I cut out what?
Can Astra like go and grab this before anyone hits the ground?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah. Asher stabilizes Rosalind, and Esther, you're kind of shoved just a bit not to tackle Rosalind.
Just trying to help. I'm sorry.
He's kind of just pats her head. It's like, leave the heavy lifting to me, and she's gonna attempt to pick up Rosalind.
No, you're carrying the snake!
I got 2 arms.
What? No, 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 no!
She just
Sorry.
scoops you up with one arm over her shoulder. Come on. Nope.
Damn it! So close.
Come on, we're gonna be flying. Don't struggle.
I can fly
Do you-
by myself.
You can what now?
I can fly by myself.
Also, I have wings. It'd be easier for just.
I mean,
We
we're
can
gonna
walk.
No,
Oh,
wait, I
damn.
can't. I forgot I used all my spell slots.
Esther's just gonna
Well,
look at Ros.
I can
Esther's gonna look
float.
at
Alright.
Esther's gonna give Rosalind a look and just, oh, you're being fought over by 2 knights in shining armor.
Rosalind thinks about this for a second, goes bright red. No. Do not. Just don't. Don't do this.
Issa goes to give you a high five, Esther.
With what hand remaining, may I ask?
She put you down, I said!
Okay, good.
Esther grins.
Did you give her the high five?
Huh?
Did you give her the high five?
Yes.
Clang. It's armor. But with that, I think we'll end the session. You guys get back, however you get back.
Oh, God.
Alright.
Give us that XP.
Yes. So if you want to end the recording, Ariel?
Yep. 1
I
We'll
second.
wanna
see you guys
level
next time.
up.
Oh, God, this was chaos.
It was.
Snakes.